If Love and Gogi is wrong, I don't want to be right.
What would Socrates say to that?
It tickles my fancy.
Oh,
Okay.
Goosies.
I don't have hair.
Oof.
You got Marcos.
That's not
Wait.
Yeah,
That's true. You do got me. Get over here, Marcus. Let me look at you.
They don't want it.
Tobin and Leroy, ready to deploy. Had to hit it with a little journalism, but that was a decoy. Better have about me, boy. Okay, Leroy and Tobin, hold to the show, man. Still in the sauce with the show, and till then his half moon open. Sometimes go taste like a snowman. No proof, I'm a lie about a motor. No proof, like I always wanted him. I never hated him. I never traded him. And if I did, I never ever traded him. You know what is a star? Like under the city, the driver's side floor. Wish I could large, so many more. 10 in the more, never a bar. Hey, 10 in the more, 2 to the P. Nothing to you, but it's something to me. Handsome as ever, and cute as can be. You can watch us on YouTube with viewing for free. Hey, this one time for the Twitch. This one time for the text. This one time for the phone line. Whole time, wonder what they gonna do next.
You know, I just wish you guys would stop the quibbling.
Morning, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Happy Friday to everybody out there in South Florida. We're streaming live for you on the Odyssey app. Miami 560 WQAM on Twitch and YouTube. Vlad's in for Frogboy today. What's going on, Vlad?
What's going on, Tobes?
How you feeling, buddy?
Feeling all right. Can't complain. Nice
Feeling
weekend.
all right. Feeling all right. Needed that Panthers win last night. Like I needed air to breathe.
Definitely.
I am down so bad right now. I am in a bad, and I needed my cats, and my cats came through yesterday.
Yeah, I'm worried. I've been worried about you these last 4 days.
You should be.
I've seen how the Heat have left you, and it's I'm very worried.
They have. You know what? It's an appropriate term. They have left me. They've just left me because this is not my Heat, not the Heat that I recognize. And then I gotta, and then I like to torture myself. I like to Montoya myself by watching Warriors and Kings last night. Just to close out my night. I was like, oh, you know what? I should just end the night on a good mood watching the Panthers. Oh, the Warriors are on? Sure, why not?
Oh yeah, and then last night, everybody go follow the Tobin channel on YouTube. And then last night, seeing your video about Jimmy wanting to just find his joy and be happy and be appreciated.
It sounds. Yeah, he's like, this is great. I love being in Golden State because I can just be left alone because he knows he's not going to be like, he's like, oh, I can just come in here, do my thing. And it's Steph's and Draymond's team. I don't even get
he's so under the radar there. It's like he's so happy with that. And then the worst news last night.
Liam Eichenberg.
Yeah.
That was the one that got me yesterday, Vlad. I was at my son's flag football practice, and I'm like, are you kidding me? This guy is back? What the hell happened? I really thought, when we talked to Omar this week, I was like, Omar's like, fresh start. I'm like, good. Yeah, fresh start. Sounds great. Good for all parties involved. He's back. He's back.
Man, when I saw that, and it was like everybody, like all Doll fans just said, no. It was like a reoccurring nightmare.
I want to know because linemen are getting paid crazy money, and I don't think that they would have paid him crazy. They paid him 1 year to come back. I can't imagine. I don't see the money, so I imagine it's very little. But nobody, that's the thing that tells you right there because they're gonna spin this Eichenberg thing, and I'm like, this guy was a free agent. Guards are getting paid more than ever. Linemen are getting paid more than ever, and this guy was like, I'm gonna come back on the cheap skis. I'm like, what? Nobody was like, oh, that guy was a starter. Nobody could be tricked into Eichenberg. Apparently not.
No,
he's back.
They saw the film.
I don't understand. I don't understand how the Dolphins could want him back. I really don't. They're gonna spin oh, he knows the system. He knows what he's doing.
He may not be back as a starter, Tobin. He may not be. He's not coming back as a starter.
Dude, he always finds his way back to being a starter. That's why I don't want him being an option because but based on the Dolphins' luck, this dude with the torn Achilles who's supposed to be awesome is going to have a setback. Something's going to happen, and we're going to be back right here at Square Eichenberg. That's where we're going to be. We're going to be there. Now it's an option. And I don't like it. I'm sorry. I just wanted to move on. I thought it would have been best for everybody. And instead, here we are. I get it. I don't want to be – look, I don't feel like I'm bullying on this, like this whole thing of, oh, he's a very nice. I'm sure he is a very nice man. Okay. Look, I'm sure Jesse Davis was a nice man. I thought he sucked. I thought Mark Colombo was I'm sure he was a nice man. He stunk. I don't want to point out the obvious, but the thing is this franchise keeps coming back with bull bleep of, we're going to move him to this position. We're going to give him a chance. We're going to do this. It's like, all right, finally. We've all served our Eichenberg sentence 4 years. Okay. It's, and nope. He's back. He's back for a graduate. He's back to get a master's degree he's back for just an extra year. Like, oh, I missed some credits. I got to come back to the Miami Dolphins. I'm like, great. Oh, man. Headlines are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory like the Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. Leroy will be a little bit behind today, but he will be on the show. The Pinks! Inter Miami wins over Cavalier. They're playing in Jamaica yesterday. Messi returned. He got a goal for the Herons, and they move on to the Concacaf Champions Cup Round of 16. So good for them.
I'm happy for the Yardies. I'm happy for the Jamaicans seeing Messi. He did come in the second half and then scored a goal late. You
got to give it up to Messi, right? Like, I know he missed the last 3 games with muscle fatigue. He's old. I got yelled about this last year. I didn't understand the soccer, but people yelled at me and said the muscle fatigue is a thing. But he's shown up to Kansas City in frigid weather and Jamaica.
There's nothing wrong with going to Jamaica now.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with going to Jamaica.
Freezing Kansas City?
Oh, I thought no shot. I didn't think it was responsible.
What is it with South Florida teams going to Kansas City when it's like the worst weather?
I don't know, dude. What is it with Kansas City? Why is it the tundra? Like, I don't think of it as like one of the coldest places, but apparently it just gets frigid there.
It gets cold.
Brutal, dude. We mentioned the Panthers. We'll get into a little bit later on this hour with road to repeat, but they win last night 3-2. Sam Bennett had a huge pair. And what can you say, dude? My guy, Sergei Bobrovsky, all alone now atop the all-time wins list in the top 10. He had 23 saves last night, and he was sensational in that game. One little rally there by the Leafs. Max Domi gets a goal to make it 3-2 early on in the third period, but the Cats lock it up. They were not going to have another letdown up 2 goals going into that one. So we'll get into that as well. The Heat are back on the hardwood tonight against the Boston Celtics. Tip-off is set for 7 o'clock. It's an early tip-off for those planning to go tonight. It is a 7 o'clock tip-off tonight for your Miami Heat. So if you're going to the Kaseya Center, we've had a little bit of an odd flip this week. You had the 8 o'clock start on Wednesday. It's a 7 o'clock start tonight, which means if you're trying to get to the Heat's house at 7 o'clock on a Friday, leave now. Just leave now. Enjoy your time at Bayside
and this is spring break and St. Patty's Day weekend, correct?
Leave now. If you have tickets tonight, leave now. Just seriously. 7.5-point favorites Boston is tonight. They do have a lot of guys in the injury report, but none of them are doubtful. Jaylen Brown's questionable. Porzingis is questionable. Tatum is questionable. Derek White is questionable. Knee. Pritchard's going to be playing for sure. Porzingis, who knows? He's ill. Al Horford is probable with a big toe sprain. He cooked the Heat last time he faced them. Heat losers of 5 in a row. 5 in a row, 6 out of 7. Their only win is against the Wizards. Alec Burks is out tonight. And then they're back at it tomorrow. They got to take on the Grizzlies, second night of a back-to-back. That's the Heat's weekend.
Wait, what's the losing streak right now? 5?
5 in a row, but they've lost 6 out of 7, and that only win is the Wizards.
I'm going to say something right now. I think their next win might be against the Knicks on Monday.
No Brunson still?
Knicks coming back from a West Coast trip. Remember, they play tomorrow night, the primetime game against ABC. By the time they get back to New York, it'll probably be like 6 o'clock Sunday morning.
I'll tell you what, Vlad.
Yeah, I think that might be the next win.
They're clinging on to that 9th seed because the Bulls are all of a sudden on a hot streak. And,
what's going on here? One team is actually trying to make the play-in, and the other team is trying not to make the play-in, but the team that's not trying to make the play-in is actually winning, and the team that's trying to make the play-in is actually losing.
It's what makes it so embarrassing. Like, you're losing to the likes of the Hornets and Bulls. Like, all right, you lose to certain teams. Okay, you lose to the Clippers. They're a decent team, even though they didn't have Kawhi and Norman Powell, and you got Bogdanovich, who's washed. But it's a marvel that they lose to. That's why I'm saying, like, the only team that they beat was the Wizards. Like, it's bad time. Now the Wizards did win last night. Good for them. In spite of Cade Cunningham's 38 points, they beat the Pistons 129-125. Bucks handled the Lakers. Lakers without LeBron and hard times right now. 3 straight losses for them. In spite of Luka Doncic's 45 points yesterday, it was not enough. They got the snot kicked out of him in the second half. 126-106. Giannis Antetokounmpo flirted with a triple-double. 24 points, 12 rebounds, 9 assists. And Steph Curry last night reaches 4,000 three-pointers. And they beat the Kings 130-104. Jimmy Butler 13-1 in a Warriors uniform. Personally, I believe they are 13-2 overall since making the trade. Yikes!
So
and
4,000 3-pointers by Steph, huh?
4,000 3-pointers, dude.
And yet he's not close to 30,000.
Is that true?
Not close to 30 yet. He might be like at 25, 26, but I'm just saying.
We'll get more into it. We got to take a break here on the show. When we come back, 15 minutes of heat. That's next. 15 minutes of heat here for you on 560 WQAM, which is always brought to us by our friends over at Hollywood Kia. At Hollywood Kia, the #1 Kia dealer in all of Florida. Get the star treatment. We want to see you in a Hollywood Kia. Visit them online, hollywoodkia.com. The Miami Heat are going to be back at it tonight, taking on the Boston Celtics, who, of course, are coming off a loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder. And Miami looking to try and snap a losing streak, get something going for them a little bit positive. It has been a rough go of it right now, and that is an understatement for your favorite basketball team. The Heat, they're coming off a 119-104 loss. Offensively, a lot of guys had a good had a good performance. I mean, Tyler, Andrew Wiggins, you would go back. Bam had a slow night, which was a rarity. He's been on fire basically, especially since the All-Star break, but that was not the case this last game. And would really like a game where the Heat's two best players can get on the same page and maybe have a productive night together. And maybe that can make something happen. But the Heat obviously got to be searching for answers. I got to wonder, too, if we get to a point where Eric Spoelstra is maybe thinking about some kind of a tweak in the starting lineup. It was interesting. The last couple of games, Davion Mitchell did not play that much. He was almost like a spot starter for the Miami Heat. And I don't know what the reasoning for that is. Especially you would think a guy like, taking on James Harden or Bogdanovich, you would think you would have a guy like him out there. But Spo went more with like the Haywood Highsmiths of the world. And I know James Harden's a lot bigger than Davion Mitchell, but I think he played, his fewest minutes with the Miami Heat this last game. I think it was at, what did he finish with? 17 minutes. So one has to wonder what's going on there, because I think, he made a really big early impression on Miami. It's possible that, Spo is looking for a little bit more spacing because, when you have a lineup of Kalel, Bam, Wiggins, Hero's really your only shooter in there. Wiggins can shoot, but he hasn't really been shooting too well since he's come to Miami. So maybe that has something to do with it. I'm not sure, but that was definitely noticeable. And you wonder, could this be a situation where Spo puts Duncan Robinson back in the starting lineup, even though he's really seemed to flourish in that bench role? I don't know. You got to think that all things are on the table right now. And then the other big thing in the Miami Herald, there was an article talking about Kalel Ware and a lot of the things he's going through right now, because he's gotten worked the last couple of games where he got beat badly by Zubac, and then the game before that by Lemon Law, Mark Williams, which very strange. He looks very productive to me. I wonder what the hell showed up on those medicals that the Lakers didn't want him.
That's weird, because right now, after the 3-game losing streak that the Lakers are on, they could use a Mark Williams.
You're not kidding, dude. I mean, there must have been something scary that they didn't want, but this is that was
it wasn't his back. It was like other injuries that they saw.
Yeah. I don't know. That's a weird one. I mean, you don't see that happen a ton where a guy fails a physical, and then especially fails a physical and then just comes back and plays for his team. Usually if that happens, like, oh.
Both team, and all of a sudden, Dalton connects, hitting 3-pointers, and Mark Williams is still averaging 20 and 10. What kind of deal was that?
Maybe a little motivation for both of them. I'm not quite sure, man. That's a strange one. And then tonight, I would not be surprised if we're going to get a little bit more Pelle Larsson. Spo seemed like he was fawning over him this last game and diving all over the place. Ron Rothstein was getting the goose.
Oh, I love Pelle. When a man spells out his love, he lives in love.
Yep. With hand gestures and everything, dude.
Yeah, when you spell out love, you're in love.
Ron Rothstein loved that. Understandably so. And look, it's just one of those things. I think Spo is kind of done with feelings. Jaime continues to just be in the great sophomore slump this year. This has been a very forgettable sophomore year for Jaime Jaquez Jr. I don't know if this is, if this is a guy who maybe just peaked his first couple of months in the NBA, or if there's something bigger here that has caused him to just fall off the face of the earth this season. It just felt like a guy last year would react to stuff, didn't just kind of went out there and play basketball. And now he seems always just stuck on that island of being in the corner. And then when he gets it, he's way too scared to shoot, but he's also thinking about shooting. And so that slows up him getting to his moves and driving to the basket. I know that there's been inconsistency in the role this year, and that's not always great for a young guy, but man, he this year has been a tough one for Jaime Jaquez Jr.
Sophomore slump.
Oh, dude, it's by a long shot. It's a sophomore slump. It's been a rough one. It's been a rough one for old Jaime Jaquez Jr. So we'll see. I mean, the Heat are big time underdogs tonight with Boston coming into the building. And I'm trying to think of myself. I don't think the Heat have beaten Boston in their own house. I don't think they've won game three of the Eastern Conference Finals. Yeah.
Yes.
Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals 2 years ago in 2023. The Miami Heat have not beaten Boston in their building. They got one win up there when they won a playoff game, but they have not won. And they, of course, clinched the series in 7 in Boston. And that was always an odd thing with that playoff series, always with the Heat and Celtics in this era, where the road team would win a lot, but the Celtics have been. It's very much like the Panthers in Boston up there. Like, they have been using this place as an Airbnb, and it was and so
celebrated their finals. They didn't celebrate in Boston.
It was
down to Miami.
Every time I go there, it's been heartbreaking. It's like I was there for them to see Jimmy's shot go short. I was there for the Derek White game winner. Oof, rough. It's a tough one to see.
Are you boots on the court today?
I'm not boots on the ground today. Tonight's jiu-jitsu night for little Tobin. So
nice.
I'm taking him to I got to take him to the dojo, and then we got flag football first thing in the morning. So I'm not boots on the ground tonight. I'll be back next Wednesday for the Pistons game, which, man, those Pistons games have been crazy this year too with Miami. But I'll be locked in, Vlad. I will be watching. Don't make no mistake. I mean, I can't quit them. I'm sticking in there. I'm torturing myself watching these games every single night. And it is interesting though. I'm definitely, I don't know when it's going to hit that I'm numb, because like I was really excited for that. I was like Ron Rossi when Pelle Larsson made that play. And I'm like, why do I care this much right now? And then of course it all just falls apart. So, what am I supposed to be surprised about? Like, this is if you look at the way that they've been playing and you do see their schedule, even though you're thinking that the Knicks could get trap game, I'm not seeing it, dude. I mean, the way they are right now, these next 5 against Boston, Memphis, New York, Detroit, Houston, and then you get one little off night before the Jimmy revenge game.
Is the Jimmy revenge game your game 7, your NBA final?
I think it's Pat's. Like, I think Pat is going to be like leaving cash bonuses if the Miami. It reminds me very much of when Danny Granger on Christmas against LeBron, where like Danny Granger was not a guy that Heat fans liked, but all of a sudden he's in Heat lore because it was like the grand petty of them all, because LeBron's coming into town and you knew Pat was dying to win that game. I'm sure the Heat got to feel that way, but I mean, if you couldn't have guys, two teams going in more opposite directions, you couldn't. I mean, you could not have that. But certainly, Pat's going to feel that way. I don't know how I'm going to feel that day. Like, I watched last night, I'm just like, the only thing that's annoying, but it's expected. Steph Curry is so beloved, and the Warriors are so beloved, and I get it. He's a rock star, but like this Stan Van Gundy last night on the broadcast. Stan, who does a good job, but he's been mostly a Jimmy Butler critic, I would say. One of the few guys out there who's like, Jimmy doesn't play enough. I don't understand why Jimmy doesn't get the heat. Jimmy this, Jimmy that. And last night, I'm listening to this broadcast, and mind you, Jimmy Butler, he did the old triple single last night. He didn't really
That's
work.
the thing. It's not like Jimmy's putting up crazy numbers with the Warriors.
Dude, he was like, this Jimmy Butler. I mean, you would have thought it was his first time ever watching Jimmy Butler. He's like, this guy is bringing the intensity. He's got a swagger about him. I'm like, well, Stan Van Gundy, where was this? But I know it's going to be a ton of that. Like, I get it. I'm trying not to get annoyed at every one of those, because that was me with LeBron going to Cleveland. But the thing with Stan is, I know Stan to be particularly a Jimmy Butler critic, a guy who's very skeptical on the whole.
Right.
He's a half the time player. He's been like, oh, you can't just show up for the playoffs. He's gotten after it because why does Anthony Davis get street clothes and Jimmy Butler doesn't? And I'm like, you listened to him last night, and you would have thought he was watching Michael Jordan reincarnated. And mind you, he had 6 points.
Dude, if you look at his stats, he took 5 shots. He was 2 for 5, 2 for 2 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 turnovers, 6 points.
Yeah, it was a classic Jimmy game. It was like one of those classic cruise controlled.
But the energy, they're gonna say
the juice. I know.
The juice.
I know. And the other thing is,
remember, they didn't want him at first.
But Vlad, here's the thing too. It's not like the Warriors don't travel well either. So I don't think he's going to get a bad reception or anything like that. Like, I don't think the building's going to be backed with a bunch of Heat fans ready to boo the holy hell out of him. I think it's going to be a lot of Warriors jerseys, and I think he's mostly going to get a positive reaction. I'm curious to see if the Heat, do take the high road with like a tribute video or something like that.
You have to honor his playoff run.
I would think so. That's what I would do. And the Heat usually like to keep up appearances of,
being respectable,
being respectful.
Classy.
The counterpoint is they gave Andrew Wiggins his number. So,
what
I don't know where they're at right now.
What if Andrew Wiggins won at 22? What are you going to say?
You can say no. You'd be like, Andrew, bad look, not available.
I think the pettiness
was there.
Yeah.
The pettiness was there, but you've played very badly. So do you want to be bad and petty? I wouldn't be surprised either way, but I think I'm leaning the Heat will go high road just to keep up appearances.
So Heat will go high road. But do you think
so?
The fan base is going to give him a
this is the thing. I think there'll be a smattering of boos,
right?
But I think because of how the Heat are playing and how the Warriors are playing, I'm gonna expect a very juiced up Warriors fan base there. I think it's gonna be a lot of Warriors fans.
Now, if the Heat were on a 6-game winning streak going, or were playing better, and from the trade, since the trade happened, you think the fan base would have been more?
Yes.
Fervor, there would be a more fervor to boo him. They would
if they didn't have this crap record that they've had since making the trade. I just think the fan base is down bad right now, and I don't think that they're going to be
bad. They're going to cheer Jimmy. That's bad. That's kind of twisted thinking, but
I know.
I would think you boo him more because he's the reason why you're in this reason.
I think, if I thought that it was going to be all Heat fans, and look, if I thought Miami was more of a vicious fan base, okay, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Like, I think
Steph does travel well.
Oh, he's a rock star, dude. And Steph Curry travels with people stick around the game for 2 hours just to try and get a glimpse of him on the bus. There's nobody like Steph Curry. And that's the thing is he's got this elixir of just being Steph that everybody's just like, oh, he's the best. How could you get mad at anything? Because it makes Steph happy. Jimmy Butler making Steph happy makes all the Jimmy antics go away.
Now, Tobin, we know NBA athletes and NBA stars are petty.
Yep.
And we know that they're going to be in Miami. I do believe, do they play the night before? I do believe they play the night before.
Let me check. I'll check right now. I can find that very quickly. I'm on the Warriors schedule. They do not. They don't. Actually, they have 2 days off. They have 2 days off.
Yes. So they have 2 days off. Do you think you expect a big Jimmy game? And if we get a big Jimmy game, do the fans turn on Pat Riley at the Kaseya Center?
I don't know. Possible. Can't rule it out. Can't rule it out that some fans.
Schmeaton said that Streets are saying fans will start at Jimmy was right chant. That's what he's saying.
I can't rule it out, Vlad. I don't know. I think if he does have a big game, I think the fans are going to get. I think the fans. I mean, I was at D Wade's return for the Bulls, and everybody cheered D Wade. No, there was not a boo. It was a very odd feeling because he kind of came out hot. And then the only time they were a little annoyed is they lost on the D Wade pump fake. You lost on his patented move, and you're like, damn it, he got him. He got us again. He got us there. And it was such a strange thing because Riley was like, oh, I'm going to craft an email, and D Wade was before the game did a press session. It was like, I didn't get no meal. That's another thing is Jimmy going to talk?
Is Jimmy going to do a pregame? Is he going to do a pregame?
I don't know.
Are they going to hold that room?
Well, that's the interesting thing. I don't know. I don't know. I could see him talking. I could see him blowing it off. I could also see if they have 2 days off, probably means they would practice on Sunday at like UM or something like that, or at the Heat's arena. And maybe he'll talk then. I don't know, dude. It's a good question. And will that change anything? I think Jimmy Butler is going to be I think he's going to be pretty high road with like those cryptics, nice to be wanted and all that. I don't think he's going to hose down the organization. I think everyone's just kind of move on.
I mean, when you're 12-1, you could take any road that you want.
You could take any road. You could take any road. You could, but I don't think he's I don't think that he's going to do anything like that. I'm not sure. But I think the Heat are going to go high road. Dade South says he just gets the positive Mike Biamonte welcome back. Jim, me, Butler, but no video tribute. Possible. I think he's going to get a video tribute.
Nah, you got to give him come on. That 56 against Milwaukee game was
one of the best games I've ever been to. One of the best.
You got to give him that. That whole Milwaukee series is a whole highlight reel in itself. So Game 6 in Boston. Game 5 against the
Lakers. Oh man. Anyway,
are you gonna cry?
Nah, I'm gonna be like, I'm gonna scoff and roll my eyes. I'm like, ugh.
No, you're gonna shed tears.
You guys knew I said pay him, but here's what the Heat got to hope for. Okay, I talked a little bit about this last night on my YouTube page, but they got to hope that the Warriors get bounced in round 2. And then you got to hope he gets old. Like, because right now, you're losing this trade. Bad. You haven't lost the trade. Not yet. But you're losing bad.
So wait, are you telling me every time Jimmy wins in the playoff, like a piece of your heart's going to be broken?
No, I don't think my heart's going to be broken. But I'm telling you, the Heat got to hope like hell that this Warriors thing, that they get caught in the playoffs by, like, what you want is hope like hell that they face Denver, because Jimmy stinks against Denver, and hope hope like hell that he gets bounced early.
Because if he gets to like the second or the conference finals,
I think if he gets to the Western Conference Finals, it's overwhelming success. If he gets to the finals, obviously they knocked it out of the park. If he wins a championship, that's a nightmare for Pat Riley.
Is it worse than okay? Let me ask you this as we go to break. Is this if Jimmy wins a title? Is this a worse nightmare than LeBron winning a title with the Lakers against the Heat in 2020? After all that was said,
you mean about against the Heat? No, I don't think that was a nightmare. I think that the Heat were super happy to be there. I thought you were going to say when LeBron won in Cleveland. I think that was worse because
okay.
The thing that makes it different is that Jimmy, they didn't want Jimmy, right? Like like they wanted him to finish out the year, but really they didn't want Jimmy. They made it known we're kind of done with Jimmy long term. So they did make that choice. You kind of had to. I don't like how Jimmy acted at the end, obviously, but overall their long term view was we're done with Jimmy Butler. We're not going to be in the Jimmy Butler business much longer. And the LeBron thing that completely caught Pat with his pants down. He was not expecting that. So I think that one was more of a nightmare than it was even this one would be. Take a break. Get to a team that does.
Times.
Yeah, except on the ice. Except on the ice. We got the Cats. Take a break. Back after this. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Let's get to Road to Repeat here, brought to us by our friends over at Celsius. Hockey fans, don't sit this one out when it's game time. Make Celsius a part of your play and get that energy up. Game day is fueled by Celsius Essential Energy Drinks, the official energy drink of your Florida Panthers. Panthers win last night 3-2 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. A big-time win for the Cats in Toronto as they were trying to hold off their division lead from the Leafs, and they were able to do so. This game got out to a big start for Toronto as they were able to blast out to a 1-0 lead, but then the Cats go on the power play. Sam Bennett, he was able to even things up at 1 apiece. Here was Doug Plagans on the call to make it 1-1.
Harkov to Reinhart, left shot. Out to the line, Jones. Down to the corner, Reinhart. Samoskevich in close, a shot. Bennett the rebound, he scores! Sam Bennett jams it home, and the Panthers tie this one up. A power play goal. Sam Bennett makes it 1-1. Mackie Samoskevich, a nifty move to get it to the net. Stolarz made the initial save, but Bennett there on the doorstep picks up the loose change, and this game is tied.
Yeah, we had to face our old friend Stoley the goalie last night. Who got a little angry at AJ Greer. He got a little angry. Stoley was getting after it yesterday. I watched a little of this game on the this was weird, Vlad. I was able to get the game on my phone while I was at flag football practice. I was able to get the game, but the TSN feed. So I was watching Canadian ESPN for the game early on. I was like, oh, all right, I'm into this.
I like the TSN feed.
Yeah, they do a fantastic. They love that hockey up there.
They're very, very one-sided.
Yes.
they're very one-sided. You know who they're rooting for.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Get into the second period, and Nico Mikkola would make it 2-1, but then the Cats would go out to a 2-goal advantage on the power play. Huge play by Seth Jones to keep it alive for the Cats. This dude, oh, man. Seth Jones, this dude hustles his ass off. He was out there with the ice shavings all over his jersey, Vlad.
You're big Seth Jones fans now, huh?
Dude, I love me some Seth Jones. Sam Bennett, he would go out there and he would end up with a huge pair. Here was his second goal last night.
Jones, near circle, pass down low, worked out front by Barkov, paddled away by Stolarz. Samoskevich covering the near point to the center of the blue line for Jones. Samoskevich, left circle, power play winding down. Reinhart, side of the net, Bennett in front, he scores! Sam Bennett, second of the game, a power play goal, and the Panthers stretch their lead to 3-1.
Man, that was good. Love it. Sam Bennett coming back from this Boston game where just a very uncharacteristic Cats collapse for them. Max Domi ends up getting him an early goal. Bob gets beat on the breakaway. The Cats are caught in a bad shift. And Bob he was not happy with himself, obviously, with giving that one up. So you had to deal with a very anxious third period. Very anxious third period where the Blue Leafs were bringing it. But ultimately, they shut the door on them. They're able to get the big-time win. 2 points in regulation. And even though, as Silly Sauce says, the cheeks were tight, come away with the win. You know, when you get into that final minute and you're able to pull it away. Sergei Bobrovsky, now number 10 all time by himself. Here is his coach, Paul Maurice, on Bob and being where he is in the record books.
You know, it's easy to say because we won the game, but at 3-1, he's not going to like the 3-2 goal. And then you're thinking you're going to have a hard time beating him now, right? Because now he's angry in the net. But he just totally fits our team. He's so calm in that net. And he made a bunch of good outlet play, even plays with the puck toward the end. It took pressure off our back end. But there's a calm with him in the net for us. And if he gives up one he doesn't like, he usually doesn't give up two.
Yeah, that was good. What a performance last night by Bob. He gets those damn pads out and is with his butterfly style. I'm just like, man, the work this guy puts in at the age that he's at. You trust him. This is why you dump a guy like Spencer Knight. You're like, all right, we can make a move because we still trust this guy at this age that he can be that good, and he is that when it matters. That was an unfortunate goal that he gave up, and obviously he's coming off the game in Boston, but Not last night, dude. Shut the door on the Leafs and is able to get them the win. So big time one for the Cats last night to get that one. They are going to now move on to where they go? They're going Montreal next, right?
Yeah,
Montreal tomorrow at 7:00, Vlad.
Yeah, because it's hockey night in Canada.
It is hockey night in Canada.
Yeah.
So the Cats now 4 points up in the standings. Toronto still does have a game in hand, but that was a very important one for the Panthers last night, and they get it. So good for them. Montreal at 69 points on the season. So
we need you.
We'll see what need them. We don't have anything else right now.
Yeah, they're holding us. We're holding on to them for the whole spring and early parts of summer. And
the thing that's exciting about it is we still don't know what Marchand's going to look like with them. So you got reinforcements coming. Like we got Matthew Tkachuk on the men. We got Marchand who's going to be added to the mix here. But I got to tell you, dude, this Mackie Samoskevich, I'm not taking all credit for it because
ever since he did an interview with you guys, I'm just saying
this kid looks like the truth. I mean, he is good. He is good. He is everywhere. He flies around, has a real snipe to his shot. He's something. I mean, there was some like worry, like, hey, were the Panthers going to have to give him up at the trade deadline if they wanted to get a real piece like they did with Spencer Knight? I'm glad they held on to him because he does not look like he's in over his head. I'm very, very excited to see what this kid can bring to the table because he has been absolutely outstanding for the Panthers in the last 3 weeks or so. Really, really impressive.
Panthers got the glow right now as an organization. So, he had the glow and, now we're starting to question some of the moves and decisions, but right now the Panthers they can't do no wrong with their decision making right now.
They really can't. I mean, Bill Zito, I think he knows. He's like, look, he knows the right levers to pull right now. They're going to go into this thing. And when you got that opportunity right now, Vlad, and you do. Like you're at this point where like, hey, we got the juice right now. We know everybody hates playing us. We know we got that playoff style to perfection. Yeah. I mean, weird stuff can happen in the sport for sure, but they just feel like they know how to beat these teams down. And if they make a mistake, you ain't going to make it 2 games in a row. And I thought that was the importance of that bounce back on the road. And so a very, very nice win for your Panthers yesterday. Back in action tomorrow at 7 against Montreal. And then on Sunday, they got a back-to-back. They will be taking on the New York Islanders at 7:30.
They go to the island. And then they got a weird trip. So I asked Doug last night because I did the game.
Mm-hmm.
And they're coming back home after the New York game on Sunday.
They're coming back home to practice and then go back out?
Yeah, to relax and then go back out for the 2 games against Columbus and Washington. I didn't think the NHL did them any favors by giving them, a game in Montreal and then a back-to-back to New York, and then you give them 3 days off, and then they got to go to Columbus and then Washington.
Well, that was the big thing with the Vanacek trade, too, is because they have a lot of back-to-backs on the back end of the schedule, and they wanted to get somebody in there. And, listen, Drieger,
yeesh.
He's just he ain't what he was a few years ago, and he's not old, but he isn't the same with his. So they wanted to get somebody more proven, even though with Vanacek having a rough go with it in San Jose. Everybody's having a rough go with it in San Jose. They felt like, that goaltending department that Rob Tallis runs, they felt like they could still get out of him.
San Jose, you said, huh?
Yeah.
Who runs San Jose?
Chris Kerr's brother.
Oh, okay.
Hard times right now at the Greer family.
I'm just saying.
Take a break here on the show. Our Tua got some news on Cam Ward and apparently where he's going to go in the NFL draft. We'll bring that to you next. Hour 2 of the program, ladies and gentlemen. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM, back with you here on a Friday. I want to let you guys know, got a really cool event coming up next week. WQAM invites you to experience every upset, every buzzer beater, and every heart-stopping moment at Odyssey's Buckets and Bets, March 20th to the 23rd. It's presented by Hard Rock Bet. We're transforming the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood into the ultimate college basketball tip-off weekend. Immerse yourself with massive LED screens, beers with your crew, and real-time betting action. VIP tickets and packages are available at Ticketmaster.com, and get all the info at WQAM.com. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. You must be 21 or older and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. You got a gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood, and it's sponsored by Gunther Mazda. For car buying done your way, you've got to get to Gunther Mazda. Let's get to our headlines here. We'll start off. Marlins, by the way, are going to be back in action today at 4:10 against the Red Sox in Jupiter. Max Meyer is on the hill for the Fish. Yesterday, Edward Cabrera, he left with a blister, even though his ERA was a gazillion for the spring. So you gotta worry about that. And obviously, we're still on. I guess we're on Sandy Watch. My feeling is this:
I'm on Sandy Watch.
I know you're on Sandy Watch because you lost Garrett Cole to Tommy John surgery.
Yes.
So I know you're on Sandy Watch.
Oh, we're on Sandy Watch. Matter of fact, they played him in an exhibition.
They do.
Before. They might as well just, right then and
do
there.
a little swapskis.
Yeah.
This is what I thought.
Right.
This is my theory, Vlad. This is my theory, right? I think Sandy's for sure getting traded. Okay. But I think they want to get that opening day game in. I think that's like one of their lone people are going to go. Marino's throwing out the first pitch. Skeens against him.
Skeens versus Sandy's a big time match.
I think they're going to get that opening day one in, and then Toodles. I think that's what it is. I don't think they're going to trade him in the spring. I think that once we get past that opening day, and
see why we have to go through all the.
I am with you. Like, look, if you could if the Yankees come with a fleece package right now that Bendix can not turn down because he loves his prospects, then maybe. But my feeling is, I was driving the other day and I see the Sandy billboard. I'm like, they're not going to trade him before opening day. If they do, man, you want to talk about just like already whatever is left, whatever pulse is left of Marlins fanhood. You have me, crying about the days of Brad Penny on this show. If you do that and you trade him right before opening day, what are we? 2 weeks away? We're 2 weeks away from yesterday till opening day. If you you want to talk about pissing people off even more. But in today's preview from ESPN, they preview every team. It says why the season hinges on Sandy Alcantara. It says as long as he stays healthy, a trade of Alcantara might be the likeliest transaction of the deadline season or even earlier. General Manager Peter Bendix illustrated his willingness to not wait until July to deal a player when he moved Luis Arias last May to San Diego. Alcantara's market is bound to be more bountiful than Arias. His sinker still full, a run at 99. His changeup is one of the best pitches in baseball. He signed for $17 million a year, which is the other thing. In baseball these days, like he doesn't even make that much money. I mean, this Marlins team is going to be
how much?
17.
Oh, they can't have him make.
But you're just saying that because you want him. That's all.
No, first of all, they hardly spent any money in free agency last season. This past offseason. So therefore, if they got a guy that's making $17 million, I think Sandy might make more than like 7 players combined.
I think if Sandy gets traded, I think Giancarlo Stanton becomes the highest paid player on the Marlins.
And he's not even on the team anymore.
Exactly, dude.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. There's no way that Peter Bendix is looking at him like, wait, you making $17 million?
If the Marlins he passed and says if the Marlins conclude their teardown by moving Alcantara, it'll be the most important deal of the rebuild and a chance to add a player of impact to the minor league system that has improved demonstrably in the last year. That's the thing too, is like he's really their only chip. So you can't, Bendix, if you're gonna do this, you better take all your analytics, your VORP, your AI, whatever it is. All right. You can't blow this. All right. You can't Miguel Cabrera this. You can't Christian Yelich this. Okay. You better come correct. And you better get me somebody good.
You don't want him to Joe Cronin this?
Oh, I can't even make jokes about Cronin. He's a
No,
win.
you can't. You
he's
can't.
a win. He's a win away. He's a win away. I've been waiting. The only thing that saved the Heat is that they're actually also on a 5-game losing streak, because I thought they were going to pass the Heat a week ago.
Scoot's been playing well.
Is he? Nobody's better than Scoot.
No, Scoot's been playing real good ball.
Oh, man. Headlines, by the way, the rest of them are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory at the Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. And remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. Speaking of the Heat, they're back at it tonight. 7 o'clock is your tip-off against the Boston Celtics. That's a 5:45 preheat with Solana tonight from the Kaseya Center. Tommy Tighe, Jason Jackson, and Amy Audibert will call all the action. Then it's a bird over to Graceland as they take on the Memphis Grizzlies tomorrow night on the road at 8 o'clock. Injury report for the Celtics, a lot of murkiness, a lot of dudes questionable with knee injuries. Tatum has knee tendinopathy. I don't know. Derek White has a knee contusion. Jaylen Brown has a knee posterior impingement. All of these.
It sounds like they just went out last night to KODs and they just don't know if they're playing tonight.
Possible.
That's what it sounds like.
We know they love to party here.
We know they love Aspalooza. So, you know what I'm saying? So
they're not alone, especially our current Miami Hurricanes quarterback. We'll get to that in just a second.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Kristaps Porzingis is questionable with an illness, and then Al Horford probable with a toe sprain. The Heat will be without Alec Burks tonight with a back injury. Nikola Jovic has a hand injury, and Drew Smith, of course, has been out with the Achilles. Everybody else should be good to go for Miami. Cooper Kupp was released by the Rams officially yesterday. He's expected to sign with a new team today. There's some Cowboys buzz and Seahawks buzz around Cooper Kupp as to where he may go. So we'll let you know if that happens to change. And then Paul George, bless his heart, is consulting with doctors to figure out the options for his groin and knee injuries. So if it wasn't for the Sixers and Mavericks, dude, I mean, the Heat would be the saddest story of the year. But, you know.
Don't you think Paul George is a little too late to be consulting with doctors right now? Like, maybe
I think, yeah. Well, I would guess they're probably like, hey, should we do a wink, surgery, just like the De'Aaron Fox just did with the Spurs?
Oh, no, there's no way they could lose any chance of getting Cooper flagged so they could get their Tim Duncan, David Robinson dynamic duo, Twin Towers situation again.
What do we got? 15 games, De'Aaron? Go get that finger worked on, dude. Whatever.
It's only a pinky.
It's only a pinky. Yeah. It's almost insulting. Like, oh, he needs 10 games to get a pinky fixed. Really? We know what you're doing. Didn't the Jazz just get fined? I think the Jazz just got fined $100K for Lauri Markkanen. Like they kept benching Lauri Markkanen, and everyone's like, hey.
Yeah, I didn't understand that.
We know what's going on here.
Yeah.
I felt like it was like, hey, we know you're tanking. You can't do that. Like, come up with something. So we'll see. All right. Some drama going on with the Canes quarterback situation. We'll bring that to you. Both. Ooh. There's good drama for one. The other one, I'm not really sure. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program as you got the Miami Dolphins in the midst of free agency. They bring back yesterday Liam Eichenberg. So there was that. They also, signed Alexander Mattison, a running back from the Las Vegas. Basically, you had a swap yesterday. It wasn't a trade, but it was. But you're switching running backs. So Mattison from the Raiders ends up in Miami. Mostert ends up in Las Vegas. No trade skis, though. Just happens.
That makes no sense. Like, I hate when that happens.
See, it happened twice yesterday. Happened with the linebackers. Anthony Walker ends up in Tampa. The Dolphins end up with Britt from Tampa Bay. So it happened twice yesterday, Vlad.
And speaking of, what is with you guys?
What do you mean?
It's the first time we've talked. What is with you guys?
Oh, dude.
Yeah, what is with you guys grabbing the Jets hand-me-down?
Dude, I don't know. I gotta tell you,
Mikey Blanco.
Yep.
And now Zach Wilson.
Well, the other thing that's crazy about it is this way Zach Wilson's got to have some agent, because I'm looking at all the numbers that are thrown around out there. No one got the money that this guy did, and
he doesn't need the money.
That's crazy. I'm sitting here and I'm like, wait a minute. McCorkle, has had a more successful career, and he's signing for half the money in San Francisco. Mason Rudolph, who's a career backup, but he signed for 4 a year.
But he went back to Pittsburgh, though.
He did. But I'm just trying to figure out, like, this guy got $6 million just off the bat, off the jump. Has anybody got what? I saw Minshew sign with the Chiefs yesterday. I don't know what he got. I'm not sure what Minshew ended up getting. I know Minshew, I think, made the most, even though he's kind of a starter for Vegas. But I don't know. I don't know what's up with it. And quite frankly, I'm very nervous. This is the thing. It's not like I can crush the Dolphins signings, but I don't even like some of the guys being options. So, like, when I'm mad at the Eichenberg thing, like, I understand. Omar's saying to people, stop being Peter Pan. Grow up. He's here for the minimum. What's the big deal? And, well, that's true because a lot of linemen are making a lot of money. I get you. He knows the system. You know him. I don't even want to be in an option. Addition by subtraction. And the same thing with Zach Wilson. It's like, is it an outlandish amount of money for a quarterback? No, but it's more than other people got who are more qualified than him. And also, let's just say Tua goes Tua and he throws his head into somebody and ends up out for 4 games because he has a propensity to do that. And I love the guy. But let's just say he does that. We're a snap away or a Tua bad decision away from this guy being the starting quarterback. And I don't know. All right. He has so-called talent. He has the tools.
He has talent.
But we don't know if he's good at this. We have no idea.
Okay. So let me talk to you. The kid has talent. And he spent a year under Sean Payton.
That's true.
We saw what Sean Payton, a year Jameis Winston had under Sean Payton. We saw it, the change in Jameis Winston. He still went back to being Jameis Winston, but that's what outside of the Sean Payton umbrella. But once he was under the Sean Payton umbrella, he was more of a competent quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
So Sam Darnold, same way. A year under Kyle Shanahan. Look at him now. Kevin O'Connell, look at him now. He's a starting quarterback in Seattle making $100 million.
Yep.
So with Zach, if it's only a couple of games, he can hold it down for a couple of games. Now, if it has to be more than like a couple of games, then you have problems.
Right. I mean, like, look, that's going to be the situation that the Dolphins are in anyway. And I think, to me, that's probably why the Dolphins haven't restructured to his deal. And I actually think it's the prudent thing to do. Because let's say, and I don't want this to happen, but it's just the reality of having him at quarterback. And for everybody who was skeptical on it, look, you guys turned out to be right. Because if the Dolphins would have had last year with Tua and gone into his final year, who knows what he would have gotten? I don't know. But this is it. I mean, they got to live with the consequences of paying him. So the reality is, do you tie it if it ends up still being an issue this year? And it's not, let's not even say it's the head. Let's say it's the hip. Let's say it's whatever injury he deals with. You can't tie yourself down more to him. You just got to hope, hey, We were almost in the playoffs last year. He missed 6 games. If he can play and he's healthy, we feel good about our chances of at least making the playoffs. Beating the Bills, why talk about unicorns and pixies? Like, you know,
nobody's beating them in that division.
Yeah,
but here's the fear for you guys. Here's another fear. What if Tua does get hurt and Zach actually plays well? This kid is listen, man. This kid is central casting. He looks like what you would want from a quarterback. The good looks, the rich family. This kid, I'm telling you, Boca Raton
in High School Musical, like he's got that baby face.
We're gonna the fan base is gonna go crazy if this kid starts playing well.
Well, here's what's gonna happen.
All the milfs, all the Cougars.
Oh, the Boca Milfs.
Oh, my God.
Vlad, I can already see now his first game where he's chucking bombs to Ezukama in the preseason, and everyone's going to be thinking about this.
About it. Preseason is going to be like 65,000. We're going to wonder why. And it's all 40-year-old and older.
Everyone's going to be going crazy for the kid, but I don't.
Straight out of central casting.
But here's you mentioned the Sean Payton thing. Here's my thing.
Okay.
Why didn't Sean Payton keep him? Like, he kept Stidham. Like,
because Stidham's a vet, and Stidham was good for Bo Nix.
I don't know.
Here's the thing. Bo Nix and Zach Wilson, even though Zach had more starts than him, they were pretty much.
Yeah, they're probably the same age.
They're probably the same age. They're probably like, if you look at them, they're young, they're inexperienced. So, but Bo had more promise than Zach, at least in Peyton's eyes, to run his offense.
Dade South
still wants Stidham.
It's because he wanted $6 million, which again gets back to my point. It's like this guy knew him more than anybody, but he's like, too rich for my blood.
And here's the other problem. Oh, not a problem, but here's the other thing. Maybe when what's his name? When Mike McDaniel was with the Niners, they were very high on Zach Wilson when they were going through the draft process. So
it's possible.
That happens a lot. Sometimes when you have a high mark,
it's like McCorkle ending up in San Fran, right? Like everybody thought originally that they wanted to take him at 3, and then it'd be like, that's ridiculous. How could you do that? And they took Trey Lance, which ended up being a terrible decision because he's in Dallas. So I don't know. Now, another draft situation here is with Cam Ward. We don't know where Cam Ward's going to go, but it sounds like he's locked into that number 1 spot because there's a lot of people who like him. There's a lot of questions around where Shedeur Sanders is going to go. I think the slippage stuff is getting a little bit overblown right now, but Cam doesn't seem to be. Who's saying it?
Slippage. Yeah, because sometimes, they do that thing, Tobin, where they start bad-mouthing a player so that one team can get that player so that everybody just stays away from, I start questioning his character, or I could start looking at film. They do that, and then it's really because the team really wants that player.
Perhaps, but Cam Ward's getting none of that. This was Adam Schefter on ESPN radio, and he's saying, like, Cam Ward's going number 1.
Zero chance that Cam Ward is going to make it to the Giants at 3. Just not going to happen. So I expect that Cam Ward will be the number 1 pick in the draft, whether that's Tennessee or Cleveland or the New York Giants making that pick. And this is all part of the process, right? You begin to evaluate all these guys. Teams do deeper and deeper dives into them. From my perspective, I'm talking to more and more people before the combine, at the combine, after the combine. And I'm just telling you, like, the conversations I've had have convinced me that Cam Ward will be the number 1 pick, and certainly the first quarterback off the board, and certainly I think the number 1 overall guy.
There you go. That was Adam Schefter. So he's very confident. It may not be Tennessee, it may be the Giants, and it may be Cleveland, but he's going number 1. That Cam Ward's going number 1.
Cam Ward's going number 1, but it won't be to the Giants.
So you think Tennessee's taking him?
I'm just saying, if Tennessee doesn't take Cam Ward and Cleveland doesn't take Cam Ward, even though the Giants should take Cam Ward, they just won't take Cam Ward. There'll be a Jackson Dart shooting out of nowhere.
I mean, that's crazy though. Like they're going to Daniel Jones it again.
Yes.
That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy to me that the Giants would do that.
In a perfect world for them, Aaron Rodgers would be their quarterback. And he could drive Jackson Dart and say that Jackson Dart's learning from under Aaron Rodgers.
Just don't even understand. Like, I felt like Jackson Dart wasn't even going to make it into the first round, and now all of a sudden he's sprouting up there. And then this is the thing that I find.
You got to.
I get it. And it's one of the things that's unspoken with this thing, right? Like the agents are making the move just like Zach Wilson getting paid by his agent. Like that was a great job by him.
Drew
But
Rosenhaus, Lee Steinberg, that's why they get paid the big bucks. This
Sharks,
is
dude.
their time. This is their time.
I'm happy for Cam Ward, though. I'm glad. Like, I see the whole thing is if anybody in these draft process, like, you see what the talent is already. I know people have questions. Is he going to get away with all the stuff that he does? Because he can pull off some wizardry on that field. Is he going to be able to get away with that in the pros? I don't know. But what I do know is that dude seems, like as soon as he steps into your organization, he's gonna have everybody accountable. He's gonna be like a vet rook right away. Feels just like Jaden Daniels. Like it's gonna be a game changer for people. I think he's gonna be awesome. It's so unfortunate what happened to him this year with the Canes, because the way that guy played for this program and the way that he electrified like a quarterback hasn't here in ages. It still makes me sick to my stomach, that Syracuse game. 21
Hold on, Tobin.
21-0.
As much as it's awful, but weren't you told from weeks prior that this is a possible outcome if they didn't fix their defense? But you kept on saying, "Oh no,
3 touchdowns, Vlad. He spotted you 3 touchdowns,
and the defense was gonna allow 3 touchdowns immediately."
Do you know how embarrassing that is? How embarrassing that is? 3 touchdowns he spots you.
Tobin.
This guy deserved to be in the playoff, Vlad. And
yes,
they blew it.
That offense deserved to be in the playoffs. That defense deserved to be in the Little Giants.
Oh my God, they were so bad.
They were bad.
They were so bad. They were so bad.
Like Syracuse, they were like, "Oh, okay, 21. We're down 21-0. Okay, the game just began," and immediately, boom, 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 they got back into the game, but doesn't still.
Timbo Slice says, if Caleb Williams could get away with it, Cam won't. I don't mean to be doing this to Caleb Williams, okay? Timbo Slice. I just got to say, though, this is just me, okay? And no judgment.
Don't do it, Tobin.
I could never see Cam Ward crying in his mama's arms in the stands. I can't see it. I don't think that would happen. I think there's, I'm sorry I'm using this word, intangibles.
Point for Tobin.
There's something about the leadership of Cam Ward that I do think is just maybe different than Caleb Williams. I'm not saying Caleb Williams isn't talented, but I think that was kind of the knock on him coming in, was it not? Maybe he's still awesome. Maybe he will be. But I'm just telling you, dude.
I ain't gonna hold you. You're right. You're right. Cam Ward is definitely not going to the stands to cry to a parent or anything.
He waits till the car. Yeah.
I don't think Cam would wait. I don't think Cam is built like that.
I don't think so either, but I know for sure he's not going into the car and having to be covered by a poster.
He's definitely not crying in public.
Crazy.
No water worked in public.
Oh, man. Take a break. Now, speaking of the current Canes quarterback situation, we got some drama there, too. Tell you about that next. It is time, ladies and gentlemen. Well, Leroy's not here. To tickle, Vlad, you want your fancy tickle?
I guess it might be. Do I really want to be tickled? I guess for the show. I guess.
All right.
Worthy, but hey, yo, you know what I mean?
4 o'clock today, Vlad.
4 o'clock.
The Miami Marlins take on the Boston Red Sox in spring training action. Tickle your fancy?
Let me be like Leroy. No, it doesn't tickle my fancy. It's spring training. Once the guys start coming down to Miami, to South Florida, really, and start playing real baseball, that will tickle my fancy. But no, it doesn't tickle my fancy.
Do you think, like in we're changing all these things, like tickled. They've gotten fewer preseason,
not tickled.
They've gotten fewer preseason games in NFL. They've gotten fewer preseason games in NBA. Do you think they need a month of spring training? Do you feel like it's necessary? I mean, I don't. Pitching's a little bit weird. They kind of slow roll, but then they kind of slow roll it into the season too. Like, do they need a month of spring training?
Well, here's my question, Tobin. With all of that, right? They needed a month. Then don't you think Garrett Cole would have known a long time ago? Maybe my shoulder's not that good. Maybe I need to see a doctor.
One would think.
Wait till spring training. Now, it might have been a free contract move because he did get out of free agency. He did file for free agency and then get signed by the Yankees immediately. So it might have been a money move. You know, we all know athletes do that. With athletes and agents make a move. But I don't think a month. You don't need 6 weeks of spring training, do you? And then they got split squads. Like, come on.
Split squad. Did you see what the Marlins are doing, by the way? This was crazy. The Marlins yesterday, I saw Andy Slater reported this. They are putting together.
Oh, yes, I saw that.
Like a practice squad. They're having, I guess, an open tryout. Let me see if I get this ad here for you guys.
No.
The Marlins are having like an open tryout to put together basically a team. Here it is. This is from Andy Slater's Twitter account. Marlins practice squad calling all former collegiate and former professional baseball players. The Marlins development system is seeking a practice squad participants in Jupiter from April 1st to September 15th of 2025. This role offers $150 per day, requires the ability to be there from 12 to 5 on approximately 10 to 15 home game days per month when the Jupiter Hammerheads are in town. This is a unique opportunity to gain exposure to professional players and coaches, enhance your understanding of high-level training tactics, and receive performance data on your practice sessions where applicable. And then it gives an email to anybody who wants to go. But, like, open try. If you guys want to go play some ball against some minor league fish, like.
There is definitely a guy right now that's gathering his former high school baseball team.
Yep.
To do this one more time.
This feels to me like the Marlins are going to do like the Adam Greenberg thing again, like in September, where they're going to be like, what a story we got here today, Monty. We have, Derek Smith is making his way all the way up from the Marlins practice squad to start here today for the Fish. Like, there's going to be some, like, remember when the Zamboni guy started a game between the pipes?
Oh,
like
yeah.
There's going to be some story like that the Marlins are going to go from this, and they paid this guy $150 to pitch a game for the Marlins. Like, and he's getting $150 to pitch today's game,
and he may get. You may get like 3,000 more people come to make the attendance 3,500. So you might get 3,000 more people to make it 3,500 for that day. That guy's probably getting paid $150 to pitch, and the Marlins will make more money off him and pay him $150. This
is crazy. All right.
Tough times.
Tonight at 7 o'clock, Vlad, the Miami Heat take on the Boston Celtics. Does that game tickle your fancy?
My fancy is tickled.
My fancy is tickled.
It's always a good rivalry between the Celtics and the Heat. I hope it's not so much green. I could say a center on Riley scored.
Dude, I was there for that. I was there for that Knicks game. That was crazy.
Yeah, I was there. It was great. It was awesome.
It was terrible. It was my hell.
Yeah, I don't like both teams, but I hate the Celtics more than I hate you guys. So therefore, yeah, I'm definitely watching the game. You guys need to end the streak because this streak can get nasty. We could get double digits by this time next week.
You're not kidding. You're not kidding.
It could be on the verge of double digits because you lose tonight. I don't think you're beating Memphis in a back-to-back. The Knicks is probably, I think, is your best bet because they're coming back from a West Coast trip. And then you got Detroit and Houston next week, right?
Yep. And you know what happened in Houston the last time they played.
Amen's going to want to baptize Tyler Hero.
Tyler Hero got spiked on his head. That's when times were good. We didn't know that Jimmy was.
That was when the team was like, they were in unison, even though Jimmy was away. But Jimmy was like, yeah, that's my team.
Yeah, he's like, oh, proud of Tyler. He put up the Tyler the video of him yelling at Amen and.
Last time you were thrilled with Terry Rozier.
Yeah, when he punched Amen Thompson in the face.
Right, he had Tyler's back. I think that might have been the last time you were happy with anything Terry Rozier did on the court.
I don't know what's going on with Terry Rozier, man. You're like he deleted his Instagram. I don't know what the hell's going on.
I mean, things have definitely gone left when a certain allegation was reported. But
at 8:00 tomorrow, Vlad, you mentioned it. The Memphis Grizzlies at the Miami Heat. Does that tickle your fancy?
That does tickle my fancy.
My fancy is tickled
because I want to see Ja Morant,
of course.
Who a certain someone on who's on the air right now. That's not named Vladimir. Who's got his his whale goggles or his whale binoculars at Mr. Ja Morant.
I saw that they put a lot of cold water on that. I don't know what's going to happen this summer. They're a good team. I think that Ja definitely has got to have some good feelings about Memphis, although people really seem to hate living in Memphis for some reason, unless you're like Zach Randolph. The guy, what? I keep coming back to this. I think the guy the Heat are going to end up with or take a shot at is Zion. I really do. I think that's the most likely scenario. I feel like he's not going to be that expensive because I think the Pelicans are going to be happy to be off of the Zion business, and I think he's just got enough talent that the Heat will be intrigued by it. I don't know. I keep coming back to it, although I am obviously scared of him dealing with Astron down here
and the food.
Well, yeah. I mean, I
don't think he's had Haitian. Well, maybe he's had some sort of Creole food. I don't know if he's had like authentic Haitian food, authentic Cuban food, authentic Colombian food. He comes down here, he's eating.
Grizzlies
and he's gonna see a lot of Astron too.
Yep. Grizzlies also play tonight, so they'll also be coming off a back-to-back, but they are home. They're home against Cleveland.
Wait, Cleveland against Memphis?
Mm-hmm.
See, this is bad.
That tickle your fancy?
It does tickle my fancy, but this is what
my fancy is tickled.
This is gonna bother me. Watch Ja Morant not play tomorrow against the Heat, and a lot of the best players against Grizzlies don't play against the Heat, and still the Heat lose this game.
Well, that's what basically happened with the Kawhi thing, right? Like he didn't play the second night of a back-to-back. Jaren Jackson says he's questionable to play tonight, so maybe his
ankle was really messed up.
I thought he was too. I thought he was going to be out a little bit.
Maybe they, I guess because they're playing Cleveland, they want to show something. It's a showcase game, I guess.
Yep. Tomorrow night, 7:00. Your Florida Panthers taking on the Montreal Canadiens. Tickle your
My
fancy?
fancy is tickled.
Of course. I always love when the Panthers go beat those mother Canuckers. I love it.
Me too.
Les Habitants.
They're really mad at the Panthers. All of Canada. They hate
all
them.
of Canada. It's so hysterical.
They do, man.
It's like it's hysterical because it's like, this city, this market should not have a hockey team, and the hockey team be so good. But yet you always come here every October, November, December. You snowbirds.
Wild. And then finally, Vlad, the Pinks. They're going to be in action on Sunday, taking on Atlanta FC, United FC. Tickle your fancy?
It's tickled.
Of course, man. How many times? Listen,
the Pinks.
Tobin, even though the Heat are not playing well, Dolphins don't know what kind of craziness is going on. You do have the Pinks and you have the Panthers.
True.
You have one of the greatest athletes in the world ever.
My son loves Messi. That's his favorite athlete right now.
And that's all you need. Look,
you know who I blame?
You're wearing pink right now. You're wearing pink and black. You're looking like you're representing Inter Miami.
It's not. Yeah, I get you, but I did want him to be a Heat fan, and he likes the Heat, but he loves Messi, and it's the Heat's fault because I took him to his first Heat game and they lost by 36 to the Jazz.
That was nasty work. But I bet you took him to a pink game. Inter would
He's
win like
he's
4-0.
not he's dying to go to a pink game. As soon as this flag football season's over, I'm taking him.
You see, you gotta take him to there it goes, Tobin. Gotta take Tommy to a pink game to go see Messi, Suarez, see greatness on the pitch, and then therefore his South Florida enthusiasm and love for his team will be back.
Agreed.
Right now, you took him to that Jazz game, they got smacked by 30, and that's like right after the whole Jimmy nonsense. It was nasty work, man.
Brutal night.
You want to put the seat. You want to bury the season, don't you?
Yes, very much so. And the thing is now everybody's like, well, do you want the pick or you don't want it? No, I want the pick. I need a reward for this, okay? Because let me tell you something. If they don't make the playoffs next year, I'm serious about this. If they don't make the playoffs next year with an unprotected pick out there for OKC, you're the Heat. You get one season like this, not two. You get one season like this. I'm not dealing with 2 seasons like this.
Oh, you can't deal with back-to-back.
No, it's not that I can't deal with it. I mean, I've been through hard times, but I don't want to hear this nonsense like you're going to be on the canvas for a while. Like, because if you're going to do it, do it. If you're going to do this half in, okay, we gave you a little step back. You better pull a Dallas Mavericks where you tanked at the end, you got reinforcements, you made a big move, and then you made a run. That's what you need to do. Okay?
Toby, you sound like you're getting sick of the same jargon and same mantra of the Heat.
Oh, listen, with Eric Spoelstra's been telling me all year,
yeah,
there's beauty in the struggle. There's beauty in the struggle. There's something beautiful on the other side. Not lately. All I've been getting is the same result. And he's coming out here with like, there's beauty in the struggle. Something will happen. What? Ping pong balls? Give me something. Give me something. What does he give me? Kyle Anderson. That's what he gives me. Slow-mo minutes.
And then the worst part for you, and I told you should have got out of it. You and Leroy lost your Rookie of the Year bet.
I know.
But you kind of blame it on him for not playing him. This guy would have great numbers in the first half, and then all of a sudden,
he thinks he's really doing something. He goes, ooh, we're going to trick him. Not coming out at halftime. All right. Take a break. That's Tickle My Fancy. Back with more after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. I want to let you guys know again that WQAM invites you to experience every buzzer beater, every heart-stopping moment at Odyssey's Buckets and Bets, March 20th to the 23rd. It's presented by Hard Rock Bet as we're transforming the Hard Rock into the ultimate college basketball tip-off weekend. Immerse yourself with massive LED screens, beers with your crew, and real-time betting action. VIP tickets and packages are available at Ticketmaster. Get all the info at WQAM.com. It's offered by the Seminole Tribe of Florida. You must be 21 or older and physically present in Florida to wager. Terms and conditions apply. Got a gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino, sponsored by Gunther Mazda. For car buying done your way, you've got to get to Gunther Mazda.
You know what? I'm going to bring out Robbie to that and buy him a drink because Robbie's doing so many good things for us.
Dude.
And, you know, he's doing the walk right now. And I see a lot of people on, on Twitch and YouTube commenting on it. I think J Vig has been following his journey right now. So definitely, we all know Robbie loves to gamble. So Robbie would be perfect for the next week. I'll definitely buy him a beer out there.
I don't know if he's going to be there, Vlad, because I think he might be in the Keys.
Oh, really?
Still. But that is sweet. That is sweet of you. Now, the thing that Robbie's raising money for the South Florida Autism Charter School. You guys can donate. Go to Robbie Walks to Key West. He's got a QR code right on his thing. I donated last night as he started his journey. And there, JFig throws it up there, so you guys can scan it right there for everybody who's watching us on YouTube and Twitch. But Robbie is walking to Key West. He started last night. I saw in the chat somebody said that Robbie nearly got hit by a car. I hope he's okay. That's the one thing I'm very worried about with all of this is his safety. I hope, and if you guys see him, support him. This is a really great cause that he's doing. He's got the water backpack. He's got the solar thing, and this is a beautiful cause that he's doing for something that's near and dear to his heart. I'm proud of him. So if you guys could support him, I don't even mind you guys leaving the chat and going and checking him out there and just letting him know that we're thinking of him, we're supporting him. And Schmeeth and Robbie, I'll let you know that Schmeeth and Schmolnick said you can walk straight to hell. Because that's Schmeethan's way of telling you he loves you. So there you go. Let's get to
the Ozempic. That's mean.
Robbie looks incredible, dude. He really
I saw that.
He looks incredible. I'm proud of him. He's not wearing Crocs anymore. He's doing fantastic. Headlines are brought to you by Doral Hyundai. At Doral Hyundai, choose from over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory at the Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. Okay, I want to get to this story. So, the Miami Hurricanes have a new quarterback this year. His name is Carson Beck. Got him from Georgia. Mm-hmm. Now, there's a little drama going on with Carson Beck. And this is not today's college athlete is not yesterday's college athlete. And so I feel okay talking about this because, first of all, he's getting $4 million to play for the Canes. Second of all,
meant for Pusha Tobin.
What's that?
I didn't know the T meant for Pusha Tobin when you say today's athlete. Yesterday's athlete.
I'm just saying, like, look, this is essentially a celebrity couple these days. Even though they're playing for the University of Miami, they're a celebrity couple. And this was part of the deal when he came to the Canes, is that he dated one of the Cavinder twins. I believe he dates Hannah or did date Hannah. And apparently a couple weeks in Miami, Carson Beck may have gotten distracted by Astron because she did the patented move, which is wiped him from her Instagram.
Oh, okay.
Unfollowed him on Instagram. And then the twin, Haley, she comes out here on social media and basically refers to the guy as a rat bastard in so many words. Okay. In so many words.
I think I know what might have happened. They're twins.
No.
He might have been drunk, forgot, made a move at the wrong one.
No,
there's a lot of things going on. Remember, they both got their automobiles.
Oh, they did. Yeah, that's the other thing is they just got their cars stolen. Like was it like a Lamborghini and apparently what it was, Vlad. I think he got. So she works. I think she has a deal with Jake Paul's network, Better.
Right.
And then Better did this whole expose, like this little breakdown on TikTok or whatever, social media. And I think he got caught Snapchatting, apparently.
Okay.
He got caught Snapchatting, and I don't know. Apparently not a thing. No, her sister then comes out and she has this on social media.
I just want to say one thing, because I can't be too crazy unfiltered on here. If your sister comes to you, or your friend, or someone that's really important in your life, and they have a gut feeling about a relationship or a friendship, for example, and they just tell you that on a repeated basis, trust your dang sister. Trust her. She's always right. I promise you. Or your mom. They're always right. So, anyways, happy Thursday. Smile. It's not my story to tell, but yeah, I know there's a lot of speculation, and I see someone in my life that's hurting, and I don't think it's okay to not be able to have to always keep your mouth shut. So it's a little bit of unfiltered Haley on here. And yeah, I'm trying to be as nice as possible.
All right.
For you saying you're being unfiltered, yet you have a lot of filter on.
She's trying to be, I think the word she's probably looking for is restraint. She's showing restraint.
Right, restraint. Because you can't say you're unfiltered, yet there's filter on your IG. But nonetheless, okay? Nonetheless. Carson got caught by South Florida, as Timbo Slice is saying, or old work back in Georgia got caught up. You understand what I'm saying?
Oh, like an old. Well, he moved. I think that's the thing that kind of makes this. This is not something like we always dive into people's romantic lives, but this is part of the story. Like, I thought the whole thing was like he came here to be with her. Like, the whole thing was like that was part of the romanticism of it all, is that he comes to Miami where she's playing basketball, and like that's part of the deal. Is like, oh, this guy would have had a lot of suitors around the country. Yes, he got paid a pretty penny to be down here, but also that seemed like it was part of the deal that he was going to be come down here, and it was going to be their love story, Vlad.
Right. They probably had something in the works, like you said, with the Jake Paul network. Like, it would have been something that would have been great. But yeah, he's the former starting quarterback at the University of Georgia, where they were in the top 5 all the time. And
my God,
$4 million to come to the University of Miami to play in South Florida. I'm just saying, just a lot of shakiness was going on. You got your automobiles were stolen. Luxury cars were stolen, yet hers was the only one that was returned.
Interesting. That is interesting.
That's very interesting.
I'm a little worried about this, dude. Can this guy, this city's not made for everybody. Is this kid going to be able to keep his head on straight? Like, with all, because this is going to come with a lot of social media storm. These Cavinder twins are loved.
Oh, absolutely.
People love the Cavinder twins, dude. And so now all of a sudden, if he is allegedly, being a rat fink behind her back, what kind of social media hate is that going to come with? Is he going to have to detach? Is he done? Is he going to be able to deal with all this? And what if he has one bad game?
What if he has a great game against Notre Dame?
Maybe he does. Oh, that would help.
Yeah,
that would help. But I'm saying, but if he
game against Notre Dame, he'll definitely forget about this breakup immediately. There'll be people
I will just say though, Vlad,
be a line to help him forget about that this breakup.
But everybody was looking at him, and I don't mean to make this the part of the deal, but here it is. Like, everybody was looking at him, and this is going to be like was going to become the QB one and done stop, right? Like, the Canes were going to be in this cycle. I was like, oh, look what we just did with Cam Ward's draft status, right? Cam Ward was like a lower end draft pick. Now he's going to be the mother bleeping number 1 pick.
Oh, Cam Ward. This could happen for Carson Beck.
Well, I think a lot of people thought that, but here's the thing: with Cam Ward, it was football. It was football. I didn't know Cam Ward's business. He didn't let us know his business.
So wait. So then, what you're trying to say is that Cam Ward was a G and made sure that his personal life never got into the public limelight.
The only thing
Carson Beck's not a G.
The only thing I ever saw, Vlad, was him goofing around with Shedeur Sanders. That's it. That's the only social media we ever got with Cam Ward.
And that was on the practice field. So they were
still
dude. On the field.
Exactly. And so now, color me a little bit worried that I'm like, wait a minute, dude. the Miami Hurricanes starting quarterback, who is still young, is now embroiled in what is something. I mean, it's being covered by TMZ. It's
Well, that's
being
because
covered.
of his girl, man.
I know, dude. But that's what I'm saying. Like, those Cavinder twins, they're adorable. Everybody loves them. All right. There's two of them, and everybody's yeah, and
whatever. Yeah,
that's how it works. So there's two of them, and so now you have a thing where everyone's gonna be really mad at him because maybe he did one of the twins dirty. And
if
now
he
we're
throws 5 touchdowns against the Fighting Irish, ain't nobody gonna give a damn about what he did to those damn twins.
What, here's the thing, though, Vlad. What if he doesn't? Then what?
Then he throws 5 touchdowns against the University of Florida.
Well, he better. He better. But maybe he's too distracted by Astron.
Let me tell you this: if you win, you can get away with sin.
He can't even throw yet. Can he throw yet? I don't even think he can throw yet. I think he's still rehabbing.
And you guys could quote me on that. If you win, you can get away with sin.
Schmeathan, man. Oh.
Cam came here to pursue NFL dreams. Carson came here to pursue TNA dreams.
I'm just saying, man. This guy came in a little too horny to Miami. I'm just telling you right now, allegedly, dude. Like, we got this whole breakdown happening, and right now it's a Fuego Friday, J-Fig. Horny people only. And we need to get this kid be able to throw again because apparently rehab, he's bored as hell.
Hold on. Listen. Ladies and gentlemen, deal with the fact of what this city is. If you're an athlete and you come to the city, if you're a top athlete, professionally or collegiately, and you come to the city, there are distractions.
Yep.
Females are distractions. It's going to happen. Learn to deal with it. But as long as you still can drop 30, go 5.
He better,
hit
though.
2 home runs.
He better, though.
Or make 35 saves. It's okay. We'll let it slide.
35 saves.
Well, goalie, if you're a goalie.
Oh, for some reason I went baseball closer there.
No, I had to go each sport. I had to find each sport. Drop 30, throw 5 touchdowns, hit 3 home runs, 35 saves. There we go. Every sport's been covered. Yeah, you can get away as long as you win.
I just had, for some reason, I had Kevin Gregg chasing Astron.
We don't need that. I don't need that visual.
Whoa, man. Speaking of saves, the Cats, they are winners last night. We'll get back into it with a little cat talk coming on up. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you, 560 WQAM. Take you guys up until 2 here on the program. Let's get to a little cat talk here, brought to us by our friends over at Hollywood Kia. At Hollywood Kia, the #1 Kia dealer in all of Florida. Get the star treatment. We want to see you in a Hollywood Kia. Visit them online, hollywoodkia.com. The Panthers win last night, 3-2 over the Toronto Maple Leafs. Sam Bennett with a huge pair yesterday. Scores at the end of the first period to even things up at 1 apiece. Then Nico Mikkola getting a goal. Big fella with a lighting of the lamp for the Cats to put them up 2-1 yesterday. And then Bennett would cap up the scoring for Florida. He'd get another power play goal, which was really courtesy of Seth Jones diving all over the place. My boy Sergei Bobrovsky, he got himself up on the wins. This was him with his puck afterwards, Vlad. He got his 10th most wins in NHL history. Look at him. So proud of him. What a turnaround this has been for Sergei Bobrovsky.
Especially when you guys were ripping him.
Not me.
Well, Leroy, 4 goals.
On an island. I was here by myself. Everybody was, you people would get mad at me. Like I was between the pipes. But I knew he had it in him. And I'm happy this is now turning into a beautiful beautiful career that's now racking up win after win. And quite frankly, is heading to the Hall of Fame. So yesterday there he gets his signature puck. Have you ever seen Bob's office?
You talking about the net?
No, well, no, not between the puck. No, his actual office. Like he had photos that came out after his day with the Stanley Cup, and he's got an office, Vlad. It's got every mask that he's ever had is on this. He's like got this beautiful bookshelf behind him, and it's got
luchador?
He's got like a luchador, but a hockey luchador has every mask that he's ever had in his career behind him. Like that's pretty awesome.
That's pretty goosey.
That is pretty goosies. Man, good for Bob. Meanwhile, the Cats, of course, doing this. Aaron Ekblad, he was apparently juiced to the gills, even though I think he was a good.
Wait.
What?
Damn. Hold on. When you take a shot at another athlete at a celebration, make sure you don't have no skeletons in your closet because you're looking bad right now, Aaron Ekblad. You took shots at Koepka. And then now look at you right now.
Hold on. In fairness, Koepka struck first. He called him a parking cone.
Maybe there was a reason.
He didn't want to get made fun of anymore.
Maybe there was a reason.
I can't believe the latest steroid scandal is in hockey.
And it's from the Panthers.
Like, I know.
Like, I wouldn't expect that. I was like, Aaron Ekblad. I'm like, wait, really?
As if the world didn't need enough reason to hate the Panthers because everybody already looks at them as hockey heels. Now they got a defenseman who's juiced up and suspended until the playoffs. But even without him, Paul Maurice said, no him, no Tkachuk, no Marchand yet. He likes how they're playing. Here was the coach.
No Tkachuk, no Ekblad, no Marchand yet.
Yeah.
And this team just plays the same way, goes about it the same way. How much is that due to confidence and familiarity?
I think familiarity. We don't look the same with those guys out, but we play the same. So hopefully you have the same effect, but it's just not going to look that we're not as heavy a team. That's fine, but we can still skate, we can still check and do those kind of things. And then there's some people that have to step up. So Matthew's irreplaceable on your power play, but Sam Bennett's pretty darn good there, finding those holes. So we've had some players step up. I thought those 4 defensemen that logged the big minutes tonight were very, very good. And pretty solid. I mean, I've liked our overall game almost since the 1st of January. We had some kind of average results to pretty solid hockey. So we didn't love our game in Boston. It was okay. It wasn't terrible by any means, but I don't want to say slow out of the gate, but it took us about probably 5 or 6 minutes to get to the speed that we needed to play at, and then we were pretty good.
There you go. The head man, Paul Maurice, after that one, as the Cats victorious yesterday. Oh,
What's going on, G?
Hello.
How'd you feel about that Cats win last night?
It was good.
It was
We needed
good. It was good. Good to see Sam Bennett not only score goals, but get back to whooping ass as well, because Verhage got hit early in the game. He got lit up, taken off his skates, and Sam Bennett, he got a little retribution there. Needed that.
Like former players, like wasn't former players were getting at like their teammates? Wasn't like a
Ekman Lars. Ekman Lars. Listen, he's nasty, dude. Yeah, you had a couple of former Cats, and then you had Stolars, but Stolars got a little upset. And then Oliver Ekman-Larsson got a little pissy yesterday as well. He was throwing some haymakers. I think did he hit Mackey right in the face? I think he hit Mackey right in the face. But he was listen.
Poor sportsmanship.
There's a type the Panthers have, and if they're going to lose guys who run a little hot, they're going to get some new ones. And that's how they operate. And that's why Paul's bringing that out there. Like, even with the guys that they lost, they're going to have the same style. Which is what made the Boston game so shocking. But they were in the midst of a you're not going to win them all. Obviously Boston, it was playing with a lot of emotion too, with the whole you took Marchand from them. Weird
Vlad question.
Yeah,
who would win in a coaching stare down and talk like and talk out? Riley or Paul Maurice? Because Paul Maurice, when he speaks, bro, he commands your respect, and it's not like he's saying a lot, but it's like, but you're listening to every word that he's saying. Like,
he's captivating.
He's very captivating.
I would say Paul Maurice for sure.
I think it's Maurice over Riles right now, bro.
Well, I mean, the brand is hot right now for Paul Maurice.
Maybe I'm going with that. Maybe that's what it is. But it's like I'm listening to him, and I'm like, yeah, I'll go through a war.
I could definitely listen to Paul Maurice read me an audiobook. He's just got that. He's got that gravitas to him right now. He does. He's a champion. He never wavers. He knows exactly. They were talking about this last night on the TSN broadcast, which I strangely was able to get. They were just saying, "Oh yeah, you remember when he ripped them in the on the bench?" It's like, yeah, we all remember that. When he knows, he always says they need a little profanity in their life. He knows when to pull that lever to get them going.
It's almost like granddad that you don't want to upset, so that if you do, and then he gives you a tongue lashing, you just straighten up immediately.
Did you just call Paul Maurice granddad?
Yeah, he's older. He's old enough to be my
But it's not that he's mad, it's he's disappointed.
Yeah, definitely disappointed.
Yeah, like you don't want to disappoint them.
You don't want to disappoint someone. Anger, okay, but disappoint?
Yeah,
Paul Maurice not 60 yet, 58.
That's what I was saying. That's why I didn't feel like he deserved that title.
Yeah.
I know.
He got into coaching super young. I gotta tell you, I think he looks better now than when he first got the job. Like, he's got that South Florida sunshine on him now. Him and Zito. They both got they both look like they're sitting by the pool, relaxing a couple days. Like it just they feel a little bit younger as it's as they have the glow of a champion. Now, I don't know what it's going to be like in the playoffs when the stressful situations in the series get going. He may look red-faced again. But yesterday, yeah, he's just got that cool demeanor about him right now, dude.
Even the playoffs, nothing shakes him. Like, nothing shook him in the playoffs.
Always does that thing where he goes.
He has a very stern face.
That's like, I'm not going to tell you what I really feel.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just going to give you an answer that's going to suffice.
And he'll always tell you, too, like, a game is true or if it's not a true game. He'll be like, the energy was good. Good game. Not playoff atmosphere good, though. Like, he'll grade games each night. He'll be like, it was a little soft. It was a little fast. He's like, we didn't really get after it. The other team didn't get after it. Like, he'll grade true intensity of a game as well, which is always fun.
He's a psychopath. Like, he wants a 2-1 filthy. Like, he's like, oh, that was good.
That's good.
Filthy.
If you give a 6-3 game to Paul Maurice, he has no time for it.
He hates that. He's like,
no time for it.
Nah. But the 2-1 filthy where everybody's, got tight. Yeah. Everybody's tight ass. He loves that. That's he's peacocking on that. That's crazy.
Take a break. We'll mix things up on the other side. A lot of NFL happenings. Back after this. Welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on a Friday. We're streaming live on YouTube and Twitch, the channel Miami 560 WQM, and on the Odyssey app. Take you guys up until 2. It is time, ladies and gentlemen, to get to the mixed bag. Today, Joey Bosa explains why in the holy hell he decided to sign with the Buffalo Bills. Here is the pass rusher who was rumored to possibly come to the Miami Dolphins, a homecoming for Joey Bosa, but the reports were the Dolphins did not want to break the bank for the oft-injured pass rusher. And this is what Bosa had to say on his signing with the Buffalo Bills. Here's Bosa.
Really enjoyed my years in LA, but coming to a team back like the Ohio State days where you're really living in a football town with an unbelievable fan base. It's really got me excited and, just something different. It's been 9 years, which I'm really thankful for my career and how it's played out, but I'm ready to experience something different. I'm getting old and I'm ready to win. And I think this team is primed to do that.
Here's the thing that I found interesting with Joey Bosa going to the Bills.
What's that?
Typically, when the Bills, who've been successful, no hate, they are certainly they put the Dolphins in the baby Bjorn. They are their daddy. However, you still got to pay out the nose to get people to go to Buffalo, dude. You got to pay people a lot of money to go live in that hellhole of Buffalo because $12 million is a lot of money for somebody who has not played a lot of games. Very talented, but he is oft injured. And they paid through the nose, Vlad. And Joey Bosa, he's like, I'm going to Buffalo, but you guys better give me that money.
And Tobin, you're right that they do have to pay a little bit more, a little steeper price, but that is also the market for pass rushers. It is double figures. I mean, look at Hassan Reddick. Hassan Reddick played. He didn't play half a season last year.
Yep.
He held out. He's still making $10 million from the Buccaneers this year.
But dude, I mean, like you had to look around and you're like, all right, do I go live in certain place? Like, yeah, I get you. You want to win. But also, whew, it's a lot. It's like Buffalo. You guys got to pay me to live in Buffalo. Remember when like Mario Williams, how much money he had to get paid to go to Buffalo?
Dude, how much money they had to pay Von Miller?
Whoa.
Von Miller coming off the Super Bowl win with the Rams. Remember, Von Miller was washed in Denver. Yep. He goes to plays with the Aaron Donalds and the Rams. Gets a couple, he gets 3 sacks, plays very well in the postseason. All of a sudden, he gets a 4-year deal, $120 million contract by the Buffalo Bills. And then 2 seasons ago, the man had 7 tackles and no sacks, and he was making almost $30 million. So yeah, you're gonna have to pay a little bit more to go to Buffalo.
One person who got paid a lot of money to go to Pittsburgh after he was traded there was DK Metcalf, who is not sure who is throwing him the football yet. That's kind of one of the big mysteries out there. Who the hell is going to be the Steelers quarterback? But in spite of that, DK Metcalf says he's all in no matter who the quarterback is. Here's what the new star receiver the Steelers had to say.
They made me felt welcome first off, and then secondly, they made me feel like they had the right decision, with who was going to be throwing me the football. And I'm not making a decision in the quarterback room, so I'm just going to try to do the best of my abilities to help whoever they have out there throwing the football. So they make the correct decisions, to bring the quarterback in here. So I'm just going to roll with that.
All right, there's a couple of things that I find interesting about this.
Mm-hmm.
First off, they bring in DK Metcalf. I guess this pursuit of Aaron Rodgers, who the hell knows where this is at right now, because he's on a beach right now in ayahuasca with a blankie around him, and he's high as a kite, Yogi.
Good for him.
Well, he's good for you because you no longer have to deal with him. That's why.
No, I love Aaron, even though it was a total mess. I listen. The guy's coming back. I could make a lot of reasons. I could give valid reasons for why you could bring him back, but he is a headache. There is a lot of drama with him, so yeah, you need a new regime. You can't bring that type of.
I mean, it is interesting because you have a new head coach, right? And they decided to go Justin Fields, who obviously is an uber athlete, but you have no idea if he can be good. You have no idea if he can be good, and Aaron did look better towards the end of the year.
He did, but in this NFL. You gotta move. I know Frog Boy over here wants everybody to be mobile, but he does have a point in that. You gotta be mobile, or you gotta get the ball out quick. I know you like Fatty Tua, but
I love Fatty Tua. Love it. I think that's the way to go. But it seems like they didn't want him to go on Rat McAfee. Too much nonsense with the whole
new regime, though. You got to understand, new regime.
Understood.
He might not allow this. Here's the thing.
He doesn't look like he plays around.
I'm gonna tell you what it is, Tobin. Let me break it down for you in simple terms. The Jets are like that guy who's never had a beautiful girlfriend in his life. We've always had fours. Like at best might have been like a Sanchez, a Pennington, like maybe a 6.5. Maybe on a good day she a 7, or a good day he's a 7. I gotta make sure we're not specifying and everything like that. So we're the type of person. The Jets are the type of person that never had a good-looking significant other, and then we finally got one. But she's a little bit, he or she's a little bit older. She's a cougar. They're not moving the same. So they still great. And because we never had this, we give them everything. We let it, oh, you make the dinner reservations. Oh, you want to go on a trip? You do that. You want all your old players?
It might have worked, but it might have worked out, Vlad, if your damn field wasn't a death trap.
Okay. So
it might have worked. Well, I'm just telling you that
okay, but
that field is a bear trap. Like it snatches Achilles by the week.
But here's the thing: sometimes you can't let the significant other make all the decisions. You got to step in, and that's the thing. We never had that in our life, so we allow that person to make all the decisions. Oh, you want Alan Lazard? Bring him in. You want all your old friends? Bring them in.
Randall Cobb's going to go to Minnesota. He's going to be in Minnesota.
You want Randall Cobb? Bring him. And then now, look what he's turning into. He's turning into the Bizarro Favre.
Cap for Life says, Diana Rossini reported today the Vikings are seriously considering Aaron Rodgers. This dude legitimately, is he trying to be Brett Favre? Like, what's the next?
Favre. It's literally the only thing.
Is he going to be Brett Favre? Like, is this just what's going to happen? He's just going to keep doing what Brett Favre did. What else is he going to do? Is he going to nastily tear his ankle and he's going to play with a melon in his cleat in the NFC Championship?
The only thing we're missing is explicit pictures being sent to Jen Sturgeon.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's the only thing we're missing right now.
And maybe stashing money away for a volleyball court.
Yeah, well,
By the way, did you see? I don't know if this is real, so you know what? I'm not even gonna run with it. But I'm not gonna run with it. Never mind.
Wait, no,
I can't do it because I don't want to know. I might have gotten sentled. I'm not sure if it's real or not. I'm not sure.
Allegedly or something.
Okay, I allegedly saw on Twitter that hilarious clip of Mark Gastineau confronting Brett Favre.
Oh yeah.
You hurt me, Brett. You hurt me.
No,
is it true that he's suing ESPN?
Well, I don't know if he's suing ESPN, but Gastineau is like he's got a whole sorts of like internal problems. And
I heard that he's like that did irreparable damage to my brand with them airing that. I read a tweet that said that he was suing, but then I was like, I don't know if it was real or not.
They did a 30 for 30, and he also didn't really portray himself in a great manner in that as well. Like him and Joe Klecko, they want to fight each other. It's nasty work. There's nothing worse than seeing old people trying to fight each other.
$25 million, by the way.
He is suing? That's a real story, J-Fig?
Real story.
Wow.
$25 million.
He tried to sue Favre too, saying that Favre allowing that sack was bad and
I remember that. I remember. Well, that's what he was hurt over. All right. Well, I'm glad I didn't get got. I'm glad that was a real story at least. Finally here in the by the way, for DK Metcalf, I don't know. Look, if they end up, this is what I want to get to. Like, do you think he's going to end up back with Mr. Unlimited?
Well, here's the thing. Now, this is a good question because we're talking about relation. I was making the example of relationship. Doesn't it seem like none of Russell's exes want him back? Like Pete Carroll could have gotten back, and he didn't. And then now, does DK really want him to throw the ball in Pittsburgh?
I think he did give him a shout out at the press conference yesterday because he said like he introduced him to his fiance because he just got engaged. So maybe that one's cool. Like if some guy introduced you to your future wife, even if he's annoying doing lunges on the plane, I feel like you gotta like him.
But you don't want to double date with him, even if he is married to Ciara.
All right, so I want to get your thoughts on this, Vlad. You are a Knicks fan. There was a little bit of drama, it seems like. Mikal Bridges, right before he hits a game winner against the Blazers, was kind of telling Thibodeau, hey, man, let's cool it on the minutes. Tom Thibodeau, this was his response to alleged talks that he had with Mikal Bridges about the workload.
Well, we never had a conversation about it, but the facts are the facts. When you look at our team and the way it works, Jalen plays 35 minutes. I think he's 20th or 21st in minutes played. Cat is a primary scorer. He plays less than Jalen, so he's like 25th in the league in average minutes. Your wings play more. They're matched up with primary scorers. The way it works is if Jason Tatum is in the game and Jaylen Brown is in the game, OG will be in the game and Mikal will be in the game. When those guys go out, they go out. When they come back, they come back. You try to keep the matchups. All those guys are playing 36, 37 minutes, whether it's Durant, a Tatum, a Brown, the wings are going to play more.
What do you make of it, Vlad? Him defending his this is what he's known for. He plays them a lot of minutes.
Here's the thing. Before the players never said anything. This is the first time a player has mentioned that, all right, maybe we have to relax with the minutes, because the players that were playing the minutes before, they never said, I've never heard that player say, oh, we need to stop playing the minutes. Now, the reason why this means a little bit much is because this particular player has never missed a game so far in his NBA
Iron
career.
Man. He's an Iron Man.
So when the Iron Man is like, maybe we need to cool it down with playing so many minutes, I may consider it if I was Coach Thibodeau, because remember, he's played for two different other teams and he hasn't missed a game, and so far good enough, luckily, knock on wood, that he hasn't missed a game yet. But
who were his other coaches? He had Monty Williams.
And he also had
who did he have in Brooklyn? He had
it wasn't Atkinson in Brooklyn. Jack Vaughn?
Yeah, I think it was Jacques Vaughn. Yeah.
It might have been Jacques Vaughn. So I don't know. That's it's interesting. It's
not nothing. It's something to keep on. But I will say,
it's not definitely not a nothing. Like it's something to consider.
One thing that does help, though, hit a buzzer beater after you make that complaint. It gets everybody off your back.
Basically, because then nobody can say anything to you.
What could they say? What could you say?
And overtime, mind you, I did it in extra 5 minutes.
Oh, Scoot. I needed that one. I think I can't have Joe Cronin catching us, although he's definitely going to do it.
No, Scoot almost won the game for them. Like he scored all the points down the stretch for them. That's what I'm like. Every time I look at Scoot, I'm like, maybe he wasn't lying. Maybe he wasn't wrong. And
I don't need to be in a world where I just don't need to be in a world where Joe Cronin was right. I can't live in that world. I mean, I'm going to live in that. I might live in that world, but I don't want to live in that world.
Are you afraid that how many games are left? 18?
16, I think.
Oh, 16? Are you afraid that the Blazers may have a better record than the Heat?
I think I'm accepting that the Blazers, they might finish with a better record than the Heat.
But you would be happy with that because that means more lottery balls. Oh, but can you understand with the fact that Joe Cronin could always talk the fact, hey, we had a better season than Miami Heat?
Oh, look. We talked a lot of bleep to those Blazers fans. You know, we thought that we were going to stuff them in a locker and you were going to give us Damian Lillard, and they didn't give us Damian Lillard, and we're going down in a fire. I can acknowledge when I'm deserving of getting a talking to. If the Blazers fan wants to peacock over having more wins than us, go at it. You know, what else do they got? Small victories in life. We'll take a break. The Miami Dolphins have done something cruel. That's next. Welcome back, you rascals. Tobin and Leroy here with the F560 WQAM. Thanks to Vlad for sitting in for Frog Boy today. J-Fig here with us on Friday. J-Fig, you still got some tickets to give away for us here today?
Do I?
Pantera is coming to the I Think Financial Amphitheater in September. And we'll give you guys a chance to win those tickets. For details on how you win, keep listening to us. It's a Live Nation show for Pantera. But let's get to our headlines here. Brought to you by Doral Hyundai. At Doral Hyundai, choose for over 1,300 new Hyundai miles in inventory like Tucson, Sonata, and Palisade. Remember, when it comes to Hyundai, the great deals are at Doral Hyundai. Now, we'll do first. The Dolphins have signed a new tight end. All right, so that's one thing. They signed Farrell Brown from the Seahawks. It may spell the end for my boy Julian Hill. The guy is a very physical tight end, does the blocking. And Julian Hill, I love you, dude, but, I bet on you on the anytime touchdowns, but you got a little too cutesy with the grabbies and the false starties all the time, and it seems the Dolphins may be sick of that. So he's going to have some competition, it seems like, in camp.
So they're sick of that, but they're not sick of bringing Liam Eichenberg back.
No, they're not.
You have to
they're not.
Build up to that.
No, they're not, Vlad. They're not. Liam Eichenberg has officially been re-signed by the Miami Dolphins, and in fact, the team website has just posted, or their team social medias has just posted this video. Enjoy.
Excited to be back. Go Fins. Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
He knows he's
I don't even seem thrilled in saying that.
Look at that face. That face is like, I'm back. Like, yeah, that's right. I'm back.
A face. I just gave up another sack.
Miami, excited to be back. Go Fins. Can't wait. Looking forward to it.
Great.
I've got to say the comment section.
Oh, I wanted to get to that, Jennifer, because
wow,
why
the words we're getting by him?
Why even put this on social? I really want to know. I know you guys got to do it for everybody, right? But why for this guy? What, like, you guys are just setting him up? Like, I'm sure he's gotten off of social media. I have to imagine. Because why even do that to the poor guy? Like, I think that's cruel.
I checked his Instagram. He is still active and doesn't post that much, but he's there.
Man.
Got 6 posts. And many angry fans. Well, not fans.
Dude, if you just want to signing all
guy goes
Fins with just irate.
Guy just goes to the Dolphins, read the room. Another guy goes, ouch. Another guy goes, when are y'all gonna learn, man? This ish is getting tiresome. There's no driving this team to win, and it's obvious with moves like this.
Someone posted, posting this with comments is a bold move.
Guy just goes, y'all are a bleeping disgrace. You guys hate Tua. Eat baby poop, but they didn't use poop.
Wow.
Another guy just goes, why?
That's nasty. Eat baby poop.
Ryan says, this sucks, and you suck.
The GIFs in the comment section, though, those are my favorite part.
Oh my God, it's crazy.
They're wonderful.
And the funny thing is, Tobin always says he hopes Eichenberg is not in his social media, looking at social media, because he shouldn't look at the comments that the fans are making, and yet he's on social media.
Oh, me?
No, I'm talking about Eichenberg with because you always say he shouldn't go on social media.
He definitely shouldn't be. I can't imagine that would be good for your mental health.
Right.
But we are not excited.
Fire Greer.
I think there might be a plane.
Guy goes, this is
a stadium that has that sign.
This is the one photo where he's not on his back. Great. One guy just goes, just here for the comments. Guy posts a gif of Kitty from That 70s Show going, oh, for F's sake.
They also have a lot of Michael Scott saying, no! I love that.
Guy goes 30 comments and 18 likes. I can't. How many likes did it get?
It got right now. I see 693.
That's not bad.
Oh.
It does have more. It does have more comments than likes right now. I believe the kids call that a ratio.
Well, I see 106. I don't know about you.
Oh, I'm looking on Twitter right now. I'm not looking on the gram.
I'm looking on Instagram.
He's getting it from Instagram and Twitter.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh my god, Twitter.
That is not.
As soon as I started to believe you guys again, y'all bring this trash basket back.
You know what? I like Dave's South comment though.
But this post just gave up a sack.
No, where he just tags you looking outside the window.
Didn't you see the words get around him in the post? The words got by Lee Eichenberg. It's sack Tua.
What in the actual bleep? What kind of dirt does he have on Greer?
I should see that.
One guy just
I don't want people to get fired. I'm lying. I do. I'm always the advocate for, the streets need a body. But I'm sorry. The Greer families, as general managers, they're not doing a good job right now. Both brothers.
Guy goes, I'm not having fun anymore. Read the room.
Damn, they took the joy out. They took the joy out.
Guy just
That
puts the
sign
F
took the joy out?
puts the F word in all caps.
Fine.
Guy goes, oh, F this.
Oh,
This team is a GD joke.
Did you see the picture that J Fig just showed? Oh my God. My eyes.
Guy just goes, you guys hate Tua.
Bro thinks we wanted him back.
My God. Tate says one guy just said, shut up. Ghost of Adam Gay says, Miami Dolphins social media intern handing Liam Eichenberg the phone. Liam, don't make me do this. Oh, no.
It's today, April 1st. Someone said.
This is crazy. People are
Mark my words. He's going to figure it out, someone said.
So it's safe to say you guys are not happy with some of the signings the Dolphins have made as this NFL.
I think this is the only one that people are genuinely not happy about. I think the Zach Wilson one's the most controversial everybody's got. Everything else is pretty a modest deal. Somebody just posted this photo of him.
Oh my God. Jesus.
How does he play football like that?
Yo, no man's supposed to be
that flexible.
Split like a pretzel like that, man. Look at that. That's not good. Oh my God.
That looks painful.
The man is doing a V with his legs.
When people ask,
he's an upside down Y.
The guy asks, like, hey, how come you guys haven't beaten the Bills in 2 years? Oh, this is why.
Yeah. Literally, your number 74 is looking like a Y. The letter Y right there.
One guy just goes, we love you, Liam.
That was a very brave comment. I liked it.
He is brave.
You go, boy.
Good for Elite Marino. He has to be trolling.
What technique even is that? The ragdoll.
One guy goes, because they said,
for Twitcher.
Because Liam Eichenberg says, can't wait. Guy just responds, we can definitely wait. This is tough.
But if you think you can make me feel bad for him, you're wrong.
One guy says, mark my words. He's going to figure it out. All right. We're going to mark your words.
You guys are so shameless.
Jay Eric. Oh, my God.
Y'all can't be serious.
This is crazy. Guy says, wait, there's a second one? Yeah, they put 2 posts.
Yeah.
They didn't even want to just do it to Liam Eichenberg once. They did it to him twice. So Jafik, you're saying they tagged him on Instagram?
Yes. Also, somebody just flat out called him a bum.
Oh, Jesus.
That's pleasant, actually. That's actually probably the kindest thing that
You
somebody.
would think it was pleasant, but right before bum, they put leave the city.
That's not pleasant at all.
That's not nice.
That's not nice.
Zach Sealer liked it on Instagram. That's his guy.
No, he's lying.
I swear to God, I'm looking at it right now. He posted it.
Did he like the leave the city one?
No. He liked
Oh,
no. He
that's
just liked the
awesome.
post.
Oh, he did.
Well, it's possibly because they're both hunters, you know? They both like to hunt.
Yeah, Zach Sealer hunts
Big
quarterbacks
boys.
and Liam Eichenberg hunts the ground.
Well, eye sockets.
Guy says it's March and this team still finds a way to stress me out. If this guy starts any games this year, Tua is finished. This franchise has ruined my life. Person just puts LOL.
Eichenberg can't get Zach Wilson hurt, man. All the milks would go crazy. They can't have their boy get hurt.
Oh, I got a supporter. Here we go.
Damn, Dolphin Canes said he's canceling his Sunday ticket. Jeez.
Wow.
Wow. Damn.
This guy says, dude was a dog if you watch the tape. Might not be the best talent, but he's always catching strays from dirty hits. Guy ain't no Jonathan Martin. He fights, and that's what we need. Plus, he can play 3 positions. The one thing I will say, Liam Eichenberg did find an ability to get like a lot of unsportsmanlike penalties drawn against him last year. Like he really did get under people's skin. Probably learned that from Christian Wilkins, I would guess. So he's got that. He's got that. He does annoy people.
I wish he learned other things from Christian Wilkins, like football better. Come on, man. Listen, you know what makes this bad? With the history of this offensive line, you know he's going to play.
He says, "Oh, Vlad, let me tell you something right now, dude. I know how this works out. This works out with them telling us that James Daniels is a little behind and is not ready for camp. And then it's like, he'll be ready by like week 6. So who's going to be there right at right guard? Liam Eichenberg.
Dave South posted, I don't like Eichenberg this.
All right. That's enough of that, you rascals. If you guys want to go to Pantera, call her what, J-Fig? Call her what to win the Pantera tickets?
It's Vlad, so I'm going to go for caller number 3.
Caller 3 to 305-567-0560. Caller 3 to 305-567-0560 is going to win a pair of tickets to see Pantera at I Think Financial Amphitheater in September. It's a Live Nation show. Caller 3. Maybe you're upset about the signing. This will make you feel better. Pantera tickets to caller 3 to 305-567-0560. Take a break. 15 minutes of heat. D Wade with some interesting thoughts on the entire Jimmy Butler saga. He was on Carmelo Anthony's podcast. We'll hear from the Heat GOAT next. All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you. 560 WQAM. Let's get to 15 minutes of heat here. Brought to you by Hollywood Kia. At Hollywood Kia, the #1 Kia dealer in all of Florida. Get the star treatment. We want to see you in a Hollywood Kia. Visit them online at hollywoodkia.com. Miami Heat back on the hardwood tonight, taking on the Boston Celtics. First of front end of a back-to-back. Heat will be traveling to Memphis after this game, taking on the Grizzlies on the road tomorrow. You'll be able to hear both games on 560 WQAM. Tonight gets going 5:45. Solana will have pre-heat for you, and they will let you guys get all the coverage going into this matchup as the Miami Heat are in the midst of a 5-game losing streak. It's been hard times around these parts. Boston coming off a loss to the Oklahoma City Thunder. They got a lot of guys questionable for tonight's action, but in spite of that, they remain a heavy favorite, 7.5-point favorite tonight. With the Heat 7 games under 500, a place they have not been in a very long time record-wise. So they are looking to get right. Meanwhile, on the other side of the country, you have the Golden State Warriors winning yesterday, 130-104, and get a win over the Sacramento Kings, who were without Domantas Sabonis yesterday. He's got a hamstring thing. Steph Curry nailed his 4,000 three-pointer. And Draymond Green actually led them in scoring yesterday as an oddity. 23 points for Draymond, who's also loving life with Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler, in his performance yesterday, he had 6 points. He had 5 rebounds, 7 assists, 1 steal, only 2 for 2 from the free throw line. But obviously, life has been good for the Warriors since making that trade. This is Dwyane Wade. Dwyane Wade yesterday was on Carmelo Anthony's podcast. And he had his thoughts on the scenario. Obviously, D-Wade, Heat legend, had a very famous breakup with the Miami Heat and then a beautiful reunion with the Miami Heat. But Melo wanted his thoughts on the whole situation. And D-Wade said that I guess he was getting a lot of calls on both ends of this whole saga. And says he doesn't like how the whole PR battle had played out. Here was what Dwyane Wade said on Carmelo's podcast.
I got a lot of calls.
I was about to say.
I got a lot of calls. I ain't getting no checks, but I got a lot of calls.
I'm sure you had to play Switzerland a lot.
Yeah, I ain't getting no checks, but I got a lot of calls.
Sometimes bullies get bullied, man.
Yeah. I just hate that for us.
Yeah, for sure.
I hate that for Miami.
I don't like how the bullshit started to creep in, right? But I think both parties did what they were supposed to do. Jimmy stood on. We talk about standing on what you stand on. Right. Jimmy stood on. He stood tall.
Yeah. It was time.
It's time.
It was time.
Let's not even play around with this. Like, I hear everything that's going on. I hear the little whispers. I hear the side conversations. I know what I'm doing and what I'm not doing. Right? Let's not play this game. Nah. If you don't want to get me out of here, I'm gonna get myself out of here.
I hate the PR game that's been played.
Yeah,
you know
it's
what I mean?
terrible.
I understand it, but I hate the PR game that's been played. What Jimmy did in Miami, not a lot of players that's going to put on that jersey is going to be able to accomplish. He didn't do it by himself.
Right.
But as the leader of that team, as the best player, what he did there, not many players that will put that jersey on will be able to do that. So for the legacy of the Miami Heat organization, I hope one day he can come back and sit courtside and we can all sit there and laugh and joke.
Mm-hmm.
But also too, Jimmy may not ever come back.
Yeah, it's over.
That's going to take some time. That's going to take
a lot of time.
I'll ask you this, though. Like,
Jimmy might go to a Minnesota game before he go to
There you go. That was D-Wade on Carmelo Anthony's podcast.
Damn, Tobin. It really ended that nasty? Like, I knew it ended nasty, but he would rather go back to a Timberwolf game than...
I think right now it's really bad. But Vlad, the Heat have bad breakups, and now Shaq is the chief fun officer of Carnival, I don't think it's impossible. Jimmy has said he's petty. Jimmy has said that. So I don't know if it'll ever happen. I think if D-Wade were to leave the Jazz and come back in the fold in some way with the Heat, that would obviously help in some way, shape, or form. I do like that he's been saying a lot of things on the state of the organization this year. And I think it's going to be interesting because I don't know if he ever will be brought back into the fold with the organization, because it seems like he's getting his Michael Strahan on this week. Like, he's hosting the Today Show. He's probably going to be, one of the voices of NBC basketball. But it's obviously he's the guy that kind of guided Jimmy here. It is a weird situation for him, and he's also made it known like he wasn't thrilled with a lot of the stuff the Heat were letting Jimmy get away with and all this either. So I totally agree with his whole PR about like the back and forth that is going to go back and forth with this whole thing of, we let Jimmy do this, and Jimmy's like, Pat Riley's on it. Dude, right now the Heat right now are not in the winning hand. They're not in the winning position right now. There's not much you could say. And any of that stuff that you're trying to paint to make yourself look better, unless it's like something wholly disrespectful that you have to come out and clarify, man, best is the hope that Warriors team crashes out in some way in the playoffs, and that your bet, the ultimate thing of this was you guys bet on the fact that Jimmy Butler at 37 was not going to be anywhere near worth $60+ million. You got to hope you're right on that. And you also have to hope that this doesn't end with him holding a trophy. That's where it's at. But for right now, there are no PR wins for the Heat.
Yeah, you only put it this way. If it wasn't for the fact that the like you said, the Suns and Sixers stunk.
Suns, Sixers, and I mean everybody's laughing.
And the Mavs trading of Luka, and then all of a sudden AD and Kyrie got hurt.
But they're getting a little bit, Vlad. Like, listen, ESPN was toasted Miami this week, saying like this has been a disaster trade. Jeff Teague was saying this week, he's like, blow it up. It might be time for Riley to leave and Eric Spoelstra to take over the show there.
What do you mean blow it up? Because you're not trading. You have a nice little nucleus, and it's not like it's not like, I mean, you could say Tyler's a star, Bam's a star, but nobody's gonna make a move for those guys. Like they're not gonna. It's not right now. They're not gonna give up like first round picks for these guys. So not blow it up. When they say blow it up, what does that mean? Get a new voice? Like I don't think there's a new voice that needs to be heard.
Well, this is the interesting thing too. Like, man, Pat Riley was thinking about walking away back when LeBron was here, and then LeBron left, and he's like, nope, more dug in. So I could see. It was interesting because, like, I kind of felt like in the year started and Pat Riley was doing the whole statue, like court named after him, statue in LA next year. Part of me kind of felt like this, Riley's turning 80 soon. I think his birthday is coming up. Like, is it like this week? And yeah, when is he born? When is Pat Riley's birthday? March 20th. His birthday's in a week. He's turning 80 in a week. Part of me felt like, those are kind of signs that maybe Riley is really ready to ride off into the sunset. And now, like, this happens, this is a very prideful, stubborn man.
So you think there's a new battery in his back now?
I don't know. I don't know. Because it's different when you're, 10 years ago, you're turning 70. Now you're turning 80. I don't know how he feels. He's still at those games, and he's still watching them, and he's still, in it with all of them. And I know that there's more guys that are putting their input, and Spo's got his imprint on the team a little bit more, but it's tough. Not like this is the season. So you're going to let Jimmy walk away, get his money, leave your team in tatters, and you're going to call it a career. I mean, it doesn't ruin his legacy. His legacy is golden. He is Miami Heat basketball, but I can't imagine
some batteries you don't need. Like, like this might be a Rayovac. This is not an Energizer. This is not a Duracell. That's not the type of battery he needs to like keep going. It might be time to,
yeah,
cheater it, gracefully bow out.
It might be, but I can't imagine that. I don't know. It's tough for me to say like this is going to be the year. This is going to be the one that he ends on. I think if they would have been able to get to the finish line here, right, and they would have been able to figure the Jimmy thing out and done it would have gone a little bit more gracefully, then I could have seen his career just ending just based on the signs of the court. He's gonna be celebrated by the Lakers next year. But now I don't know. I don't think he's gonna go out like this. But I don't think the Heat have a lot of great paths out of this either. Like, you know, what is it? Everybody's going to point to Durant. Is Durant?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I'm saying. I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I'm sorry about the. I was asking you, what do you think these guys are going to do? Because it's like you can't look at Durant at 37 coming to your squad, and that's going to be that's the guy that's going to get you over the top. And Ant and Ja and Zion,
Zion's the one where I'm like, that's a buy low, but he's incredibly talented. And if you're believing in your organization and talent, and you need a guy who's like the star of your team, that's the one where I'm like, all right, that makes a lot of sense for the Heat. It makes a lot of sense. It does. The Ant thing, it could happen maybe eventually. The Luka thing, maybe I'm not going to rule the Heat out of being in the game, but they're not happening anytime soon. They're not going to happen this year. They're not going to happen. They're not going to. I mean, we'll know that once Luka, if he signs an extension or not. The Ant thing, A-Rod just got control of the team. Hard time believing he's going to let go of Ant. The Wolves are on fire lately too, by the way. So got a hard time believing that. Like, so I'm looking at like what are the realistic options that are out there for Miami? Yes, Zion or Larry Marketing. Like those are like the guys who are like all like really talented. Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think like who are the guys who are like actual all-star talents that Miami could get their hands on next year, like to add to this team next year. That's what I'm looking at as far as this team is concerned. And that's without giving up Bam and Tyler.
Yeah. To get a superstar, because I'm trying to figure out to get a superstar right now with in the league. And now because obviously with the playing situation, it's pretty much 20 teams are having a chance to make the postseason, right?
Yep.
And then you have to look for maybe a team that has a superstar that is not playing well. But a lot of these superstars are older. Like you're not going to want to take a chance on Kyrie Irving next season. Say Kyrie opts out, he's a free agent, and you're not going to. Do you want to take a shot at Kyrie Irving coming back from a knee injury, and a knee injury that they say he might not even be back for the full year in 25, 26?
Oh man, off the ACL, that's a tough one.
Okay,
it's a tough one. I wouldn't be against it. Like, I wouldn't be. I don't know what you'd have to give up though. Like, I think that's a squirrely one with coming off of that injury.
And then KD's 37, bro, and I know he's still a bucket getter, but it's not the same impact as it was before.
And if you're KD, like, look where the Heat are right now. Does he want to come to Miami to play? You know, I know he knows Bam. I think he had like I don't know what his relationship is with Tyler. I know that like he knew Tyler coming out of college and things like that. Like, is this it's the perfect fit for him as far as like, okay, but is it like a true contender with him at his age? Like he hasn't moved the needle. Like he hasn't been like that since leaving Golden State. Not really since that one Nets year where he almost beat the Bucks. So I don't know, man. I don't know. And then you got to also figure out what's the Heat's pick situation going to be. Are they getting 2 picks? Are they getting 1 pick? So that's all they're out on the table right now. We'll take a break, play a little You Did to Me to close things out. Let's bury some people. Tobin and Leroy. Hope everybody has a fantastic weekend coming on up. Here's who's dead to me. I'm in the midst of this season of Love is Blind. I haven't finished it yet. But my God, Dave, you have to be the least likable character in the history of Love is Blind. If I have to hear about your sister one more time, marry her if you love her so much. Enough of you, dude. I don't even understand this. I don't understand what you're all caught up with. You are not a real person. You are mad at somebody who you wanted to marry that you met through a wall. Okay, you never saw her. Then you see her, you're attracted to her, and you're upset because maybe she was bumping uglies 2 weeks before the show, which is like, hey, who cares? I don't even understand this. And then your sister's like, you can never marry somebody on a reality show. And then don't go on if you take her word as gospel. You already broke her rules once. I don't even understand this guy, Dave. He doesn't seem like a real person to me. It's crazy. And if I had to hear the words my sister one more time, it was like a buzzword. The entire my sister, I don't know my sister. Hey, shut up. You ruined this season. It was wasted scenes every time you were on the air. You're a pod person. You're not even a real person. This is crazy to me. Sitting here marrying somebody through a wall and you care what she was doing 2 weeks beforehand. This is crazy.
What was she doing 2 weeks beforehand, huh?
I don't know. I don't know, Jennifer. But what I do know is I hate him.
He's not likable. From the very beginning, he was never likable.
Not likable. Not likable at all.
No, the way he started every conversation this season, I just wanted to go through my screen and slap him.
Yep.
But, you know, it's really hard to watch the season, so I can't even input.
Schmieden says they're doing Marry Your Sister episode of Love is Blind Gainesville. I like you. We seem a lot alike.
Point for two.
Go Gator. Jennifer, who's dead to you?
Honestly, I think it's just people who lie.
Oh.
People who are not clear with their intentions. You know,
It's a very wide net. It's a very wide net.
wide net, but I'm gonna keep it clean because I'm sick of people thinking they can just lie to my face. It's not. I'm a very simple person, and I think I'm pretty understanding. But if you're gonna go ahead and just lie,
Is this
to
a
my
Dave
face,
fella who maybe lied to your face?
maybe, you know, maybe.
Oh man,
crop him out.
Jeez.
But yeah, you won yourself to a crop out. I'm just saying.
Yeah. All right.
Damn. Why is that the new move now? Being cropped out? That's like the
Well, you get taken off that Instagram, you're donezo. Like that's
If you make it to
immediate donezo.
If you
make it to
that's
IG.
if you make it, Vlad. If you make it. All right, Berter, whatever you say. Watch it. Tread lightly, dude.
Yep.
It's not just the feathered friends who cross JFig.
I don't like the way you lie. There you go.
Vlad, who's dead to you?
It's football. But it's a different type of football. It's Atletico Madrid's manager, Diego Simeone.
What do you do?
I like him as a manager. I really do. But I'm done with that. You know how you're sick and tired with Spo with like you got to enjoy the fight and the journey and all of that. I'm getting sick and tired of him always trying, like, Atletico Madrid is a good team. They're one of the best teams in Europe, in the world. But I'm sick of like this underdog, like this David versus Goliath type of situation they always do. Even though, yes, it is Real Madrid, and Real Madrid is like the best team in Europe. But stop with the, like, you know, oh, we almost won. And he's doing all this like WWE, like Hulk Hogan back in the days, like hulking up to get the crowd going crazy. And the team still loses. And the team always ends up losing. They never are able to win the big one. And I'm sick and tired of it. Even I'm a Real Madrid fan, but I'm sick and tired of seeing Simeone doing all that. All those antics. And they always come up short.
What do we got going on?
Like McDaniel doing that.
Oh, the almost wins. Yeah. Well, listen, we're hearing a lot of that from Spo afterwards about beauty on the other side and stress
I'm
is good.
sick of that. I'm sick of it. I don't want to hear it. There's only 2 wins. There's only two options: winning and losing. Right?
Hey, if you're Pat Riley, he said winning in misery.
No, there's a lot of misery going on here. It's Kathy Bates up in here.
Did you did Liverpool?
I know you did. You like that one, J-Fick.
Did Liverpool win? Because I know our boy Patty
No,
Pimblett.
Liverpool lost.
They lost?
They lost.
Who did they lose to?
Who did they lose to? I forgot who they. No, they lost to PSG.
Jeez, our boy Patty the Baddie's coming in sad then. Patty the Saddy.
Yeah, they lost to PSG.
Because he was like, I'm not coming to Miami. I have to see that match this week. I was like, all right. I think that was the match. Was that the match he was staying for, J-Fig?
Sorry, what?
I don't know. I thought he was talking. There was some big match that Patty the Baddie wanted to see when he was coming on here because he loves Liverpool. He's like, I'm not coming to Miami early. Or maybe it was later. Maybe it was on the 12th. He wasn't coming here till.
Maybe I don't remember when it was.
All right. Not a problem. All right, everybody. That is your dead to me. We got Heat basketball tonight. Heat and Celtics. 7 o'clock tip-off tonight. Solana will get you going at 5:45. We got Panthers hockey back tomorrow along with Heat basketball. So you got Heat on 560 and you get Panthers on 790, the Tick Cat. So get that going.
We also have Robbie. We also have Robbie walking.
Did you just call it the Tick Cat?
Yeah.
He did.
790 the Tick Cat, dude.
-1.
No, man. Come on, man.
Come on, man.
Come on, man.
We got a couple things I want to let you know about before we get out of here today. First off, Robbie is walking to Key West right now in support of autism. He's trying to raise money. So go out there, support our boy. Go check out his live stream. Robbie walks to Robbie walks to Key West. That's the handle on maybe we could tag it, J-Fig, on the description of today's episode so people can go check him out. But Robbie walks to Key West is the handle. You guys can go subscribe, watch his journey. That's the QR code if you guys want to donate to Robbie's cause. He is walking until next Thursday. He started yesterday. You guys can get in on the chat. Very interactive, Robbie the Degenerate. He came in earlier this week, broke down some draft with us, and we love him. We love Robbie. So best of luck. Please be safe.
That's our boy.
Just now I was watching, and he was applying sunscreen. So I'm happy he's
got to stay safe.
Kind of prepared now.
He's not cooking.
What happens first? Do the Heat win before Robbie gets to his destination?
Wow, that's a great question, Vlad. So you're saying, will Robbie walk through an 0-4 streak?
Yes. Well,
and a losing streak that at that point would get to 9. So it would be
Boston,
Celtics, Grizzlies, Knicks,
Oh, it might be
Pistons.
10. When's the Houston game? Is that a Friday night?
That's Friday.
On Friday, yes, it'll be 9.
He might. I can't rule it out. Another thing I can't rule out is buckets and bets. I want to let you guys know one more time that next Thursday is buckets and bets. You guys can experience every upset, buzzer beater, and every heart-stopping moment at Odyssey's Buckets and Bets. It's going on March 20th through the 23rd. We're going to be broadcasting live out there. So if you come on out there, come say hello. We'll actually be out there on Tuesday as well. I don't know where yet. We'll let you know on Monday. It's presented by Hard Rock Bet. We're transforming the Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino in Hollywood to the ultimate college basketball tip-off weekend. Immerse yourself with massive LED screens, beers with your crew, and real-time betting action. VIP tickets and packages are available at Ticketmaster.com. Get all your info at WQAM.com. Terms and conditions apply. Got a gambling problem? Call 1-888-ADMIT-IT. You must be 21 or older and physically present in Florida to wager. Seminole Hard Rock Hotel and Casino. It is sponsored by Gunther Mazda. For car buying done your way, you've got to get to Gunther Mazda. That is our show, everybody. Have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. And we will talk to you rascals on Monday.